perfect. And I think every time a Jew makes the argument that Arabs are bad, you guys are like, yeah, but look at the things that exist in your side. And it's like, yeah, nobody is perfect. But certainly if you're going point by point, we have been a net positive, net contributors, and net moral.
Okay, thank you, Jesus Christ. All right, a few things. I just want to note before I even get started that he said the greatest comedians of worth mentioning when there's Bernie Mac, Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock. Like, I don't know who you think you are. I don't know what kind of comedians that you're watching. Okay, over on your side, but like we have our own greats. Okay, we have Michael Jordan, we have Beyonce, we have the entire American music apparatus, right? What are we even? I don't know what the point of that. Right, sports apparatus, everything that you love to watch, right? And we're treated differently than you. We're not as a protected class as you. And when it comes to the Arab world, like, oh, what have Arabs done in the West? For just to be clear, there's like I think 1.2 million people who identify as Arab in the United States. There are 6 million Jewish people. Just they outnumber them a lot. But in any capacity, there are plenty of Arab doctors, lawyers, engineers. They're all throughout the medical industry. People from the Middle East at large are engineers, doctors. I don't know why I can't name like specific. What is it? Rami, Mo. There's a bunch of comedians that I watch, Hassan Minaj. There's a bunch of Muslim or Arab or Middle Eastern comedians. The dude who played what's his name, Freddie Mercury, who was in Mr. Robot. You know who I'm talking about. There's plenty of entertainers that are Arab or that I enjoy. You're not special in that, and Hispanics as well, and Asian people, and Korean and whatever. Like what? Taking that aside, because I'm sure he thinks he's more special because they always love bringing this up. Jews have had more Nobel Peace Prizes than anyone else. So they always say that the Arab world only has 2. So I guess we need to just kiss their ass. I guess they're just better than everybody else now. I guess that's how it works. You're 16 million globally, right? If you had that many people there, we would be saying it would be if the Israeli side, right, the Jewish side, but specifically the Israeli side was 40 million deep, right? Not 9 million. They would operate and act just like everybody else in the Middle East. They would be doing it just as much. Your size is really your biggest crutch, even though you have all the nuclear weapons in the world, or in the Middle East, not in the world. You have all of the nuclear weapons in that region, and you are the superpower, technically, by order of magnitude. Because of that, you understand that paradigm, because if you didn't, then the Arab world would have already marched into proper Israel, or on their hands, right, or not on their feet. They would have ran in there. So who cares? This idea that because they outnumber you, you don't operate as a superpower is ridiculous. Okay. Notice how he didn't address anything I said, though. How I believe that Israel wants to expand. How I believe Israel wants to focus on Turkey next after Iran. They're going to try to get all our politicians left and right, all the Christian evangelicals who are psycho. They'll find some passage in the Bible that's like, oh, I guess we got to go fight Turkey now because Turkey is another threat.
Let's see what he has to say to your question, though. Ask him that question, though, real quick, and let's see what he has to say to it.
Which one?
The one about Israel wanted to do greater Israel, et cetera, et cetera.
They absolutely want to do greater Israel. And he knows this. So yeah, Zach, please respond to the list. And I will list them again when it's my turn to speak again. The list of ways we know that Israel is trying to colonize, like from a geopolitical standpoint, taking out all emotion, taking out the Gaza G side. It's obvious they want to operate as a super state. Are you telling me they don't?
Well, so again, this goes back to my question. So I firmly, I know that it won't matter because again, we're both sort of talking about what we think the future will be like. I don't agree with you that they want to do greater Israel in the way that you think, but let's assume your point is correct. If tomorrow every country in the Middle East suddenly became Israel, would people's lives get better or worse? And if every country in the Middle East became, and you could literally any country, if Israel,
it's just I can't believe this is his argument, you guys. Like this is like 11. If it all became Israel, obviously it would not be better, you guys. The Arab world by an order of magnitude, hates them. The reason that the politics, if you survey the Arab world after the fall of the Ottoman Empire, right, in the 2020s, they had universally loved America. They loved the West because we freed them from the Ottoman Empire. It wasn't until for the 50s, right after the Nakba, that the way the Arab world viewed America and the West worsened or soured. Post-colonialism, right? They thought we were liberators because of the treatment of the Palestinian people. One thing that the Sunni, that the Shia, the overwhelming majority of those two groups, who consider themselves, I'm not talking about the ethnic minorities, although their opinions matter, but the Sunni and the Shia, what they agree upon, even though they have their own differences, is that the treatment of the Palestinian people is a crime against humanity. It's horrific by a super state, Israel. Period. They all agree. There's surveys. They think because they have like the backing or the fake allyship with Saudi Arabia or Qatar. It's just because the government
Congratulations,
doesn't.
Nana.
Relax,
You are
coach,
giving all the
relax,
reasons
coach,
why it will
relax,
never.
coach. Jesus Christ.
1 second, coach.
Congratulations, Nana. You're doing.
Coach, give me 1 second. Coach, give me 1
You're
second.
explaining
Coach,
why it
chill
will
out,
never
man.
happen.
What you doing,
Give
Good job.
me
You
1
did
second.
good, Nana.
Give me
Coach,
1
relax,
second, Coach. Let me
relax.
land my plane. I'd love to speak to him. Why'd you drop him? He should come back
I
up.
didn't
We could
drop
talk.
him. He did it to himself.
Anyways, even if that was the case, the overwhelming majority of the Arab world supports the Palestinians. They want them at least to have a two-state solution. I believe in a one-state solution. I don't believe that we destroy Israel tomorrow and then all of those people are persecuted and kicked back into Eastern. No, I believe that it could be a unified peace and reconciliation example, a shining beacon in the Middle East of what, after decades and decades of atrocities, war crimes, G-sides, harm, right? That they could actually live together and coexist. That is my belief. This is the 21st century. Anything is possible. They believe that because, and that's the truth. Survey the entirety of the Arab world. So are we surprised that the Arab sentiment, that the Iranians, regardless of what you feel about the government or not, obviously I hate them. Are we surprised that after Iraq, after Afghanistan, after Libya, after going into country after country that Israel has wanted us to go into since before any of us were born, that it's somehow controversial to assert that it's somehow wrong to point out that they hate us because of our actions? That one of the, even though he's a horrible, disgusting blight on humanity and deserved to be taken out, Osama BL wrote that one of the reasons he was doing what he was doing is because of America continuing to allow Israel to commit atrocities against the Palestinian people, to harm the Palestinian people. Like, we're just supposed to ignore that because there's no justification for his answers. No, like, you can have nuance. You can point both of those things out. So if Coach wants to come back up and tell me how, because all the rest of them hate them because of their current actions, that's why they get to commit atrocities all throughout the Middle East. That's why they get to operate as a vessel state. That's why they get to want to put boots on the ground in Yemen, put boots or a base on the ground in Somaliland, enter into Africa, northern parts of Africa, have more influence in the Egyptian government, control the Mediterranean Sea, then convert our governments after Iran, instead of going to China, right, to Turkey, try to destabilize the relationship the EU has with Turkey.
No,
literally EU country. Yeah, tell me, Coach.
That's every reason you just gave. You argued against yourself. Your entire thing was about the greater Israel project. All those reasons that you just listed are all the reasons that there's no such thing, that the greater Israel project is a figment of your fucking imagination. Because there are not enough Jews in the world that you can bring to the Middle East.
But even
you cannot bring enough Jews in the world to go to the Middle East and be able to colonize and conquer all of those Arabs.
Hey, I'm so glad you brought that up. Anybody in the audience, how many Israeli citizens do you think are going to be, if we do put boots on the ground in Iran, how many Israelis are going to be in Iran at the same time?
Go ahead, Vegas. Vegas and I got Viking Mom. This
is exactly why I've been saying they have been trying to crowdfund their ethnicity. Anybody who decides they want to be Jewish, come make Aliyah. Come here and be Jewish and get land. They're fucking crowdfunding the Greater Israel Project. That's what the fuck they're doing. That was it.
Real quick now, Viking Mom.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Salami and bacon. Also, there's no such thing as crowdfunding.
except the Josh Bathies are above me. Just what I would like to say a couple of things. So Vegas, KNA, Kana, big W to you both. I stand with you guys wholeheartedly. Two, to what Zach was saying, what happened if Israel took over that area of region? Well, majority of the leaders would become PDFs, Ts. There's so much that would be involved into the left horde. Left horde will grow big. That's how simple it's going to be. And if he is a J, then I'm his messiah. That's how basic it's going to be. With you, Coach, you keep saying that the so-called greater expansion of Pisrael is non-existent. Why is it that your recruiting agencies here in London? Yeah, in London, by the way, you're recruiting British Jays to go and join a IOF army. That is you get this, you have this house, you have this if you join the IOF. That's being called out in London. You've also done it in Manchester, in Newcastle, and in parts of America. So you think that we are stupid and dumb? Mate, you're the one who's stupid and dumb. Because your people, your government, is recruiting idiotic people who've got no education whatsoever, who are dual citizens, including here. If you join our service, we will give you this and we will give you that. Not give you, we had stolen from the Palestinians to give to you. So again, Coach, it's not our figure of imagination. It's
That
down
entire
to
load of whatever came out of your mouth is
of a
bullshit.
government
You have no
thinking
evidence
we are
to support any
stupid
of it.
and naive. You're the one who's stupid and naive. And if you again, like KNA's just said, about the so-called that you're going to attack this country, mate, I've got another thing coming to you. You're losing against Iran right now. Iran is smashing your backsides with the lovely missiles. Come and join and boom Turkey, because Turkey will do a nice fucking whooping on your ass, mate. You think Iran's bad? You think what Iran's doing is bad? Come to the second powerful country in NATO and see what will happen to your backside, because they will shred you a new one. You think the one you've got now is okay? Another one.
I just want to say really quick.
You have no evidence. Shut up.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do, Coach. Naftali Bennett literally said in an interview that online, you can go and find it. They're already starting to talk about how we need to start worrying about the way Turkey operates. They're expanding TS. Listen, I want to be very clear. I do think that I did a lot of research. Some of the atrocities that the Turkish government if either directly or indirectly committed against allowed to happen to ethnic minorities in Syria, because a lot of groups were involved in Syria. But from what I'm reading, I got to do some more research. They were the most involved in some of the things that happened in Syria. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with the way that the Alakites, the Bedouin, the Druze, there are certain ethnic minorities that need to be protected in Syria, period. But that doesn't take...
KNA, that's
exactly you want me up here.
Hold on, y'all.
Fuck off, bitch.
Relax, Coach. Shit, don't be talking. Come on, nobody, bitch on my panel. Damn, we don't do none of that. Man is so immature.
Who is he calling a bitch?
I don't even know, but he can't be doing that. That's wild work.
I think you should let him back up. I didn't
drop him. He came up here, called somebody a bitch and dropped.
Somebody, whoever's dropping Coach, please let him.
No one's dropping Coach. Coach is dropping himself.
Yeah.
But no, but that doesn't take.
Quick one. Okay, no, what you just said is incorrect, darling. The Druzes are they are back in Israel. The Druzes are unaliving my people in Syria, the Alavis. So the Druzes are working alongside Israel and America. So they are backstabbing the people in Syria, especially in Haleb and Damascus.
Yeah.
So just let you know on place,
people
darling.
Were saying I've spoken to. They're saying that because of what happened days after Assad was taken out, or he fled to Russia, that there was an atrocity that happened against the Druze in southern Syria, and they were able to provide, I think both sides are doing it, but there have been atrocities done to those people. It isn't like Druze are split up in multiple countries, right? So if they're going to be split up like that, maybe the Druze in Israel are very loyal to Israel, but the Druze in Syria, from what I'm seeing, they had their own politics because they operated as an ethnic minority. I'm not saying that what is happening, if you have stuff that you want to send me, I'm doing a lot of research on it now. And I'm not saying that either side is completely innocent or bloodshed wasn't a shed on either side. I'm just saying that Turkey operates as a power in Syria and has, as alongside Israel, the United States, Saudi Arabia, and Russia. But I'll do some more research. I'll definitely do some more research as it pertains to Turkey and Israel. I support Turkey all the way. They're a sovereign country. Israel, yeah.
I will send you some info on that, darling, because my grandmother's side are from Haleb, Syria, and they are Alevi, so I'll send you info on that. And when it comes to W Turkey, don't W the Turkish government because they are back in. I'll send you some info.
Yeah.
Real quick,
the government.
we've got like 30 minutes to knock out 20 more heart me's. If you haven't done your heart me yet, please do that and keep tapping and sharing. We got some pretty decent conversations, except for Coach being a little bitch. But
I just want you guys to note how does anyone notice how he couldn't answer to why this is a war that basically Marianne Adelson paid Donald Trump to do, right? One of the Sheldon Adelson's ex or wife before he passed. Zionists literally paid him personal money. We're going to find all of this out in a few years. Everybody already knows. It's like an open secret. She gave him $100 million. You can find a bunch of videos.
300 million.
$300 million. Is it 300 now?
It's 300
million.
They try to suppress it and say that it's 100 million, but she gave him
300 million. That's all it took. That's what I'm saying. Like, maybe if we all crowdfund, we should all just come up with $300 million to give to Trump, and then he'll just like, we got to give him 400 million, and then he'll be like, all right, enough war in Iran. But like, that's literally what it comes down to. These people are paying for this. They have the evangelical right-wing base in America all riled up. We have commanders, generals being dog whistled on because they're telling their soldiers that this is part of Armageddon, that we should, this is what was written in scripture, and we're bringing upon the night. The Zionists know. You know what I'm saying? We're helping them do this. He said, well, why what you're saying will never happen? Why what you're saying is never going to happen? Because there's not enough of us. You don't need all of you. You need American soldiers, right? You needed American soldiers when you were not the number one, but definitely one of the top countries that got America to go to war with Iraq. Definitely top 5, like definitively, already proven. But how many Israeli citizens? Because the British went, the United States went, France sent some people. I don't think Israel sent that many people. In fact, I don't think they sent a single person. So we're the ones sending our boys to Karg Island potentially, right? Where they're going to be drone swiped, right? Where we're going to be watching videos of them on YouTube and TikTok, begging for their mommy, right? When the drone is flying over them, like we watched for 2.5 years in Ukraine and Russia. They're the ones that are going to be doing that. It's going to be affecting Americans. They're the ones that are going to be literally coming to a death trap, IED paradise, okay? Boat tanker paradise. So I want to know, where are the Israelis on that? That you don't need, you just need influence. That's how it works.
But Nana, he wasn't saying that like they're gonna do it by themselves. He knows they can't do it by themselves. He was saying that they don't have they don't have the numbers to populate a greater Israel project. And that's why I say they have been trying to crowdsource their ethnicity to populate the greater Israel project, because there's not enough of them. And that's why they do things like have Ivanka Trump, convert to come over there and then try to act like she's indigenous to the fucking land.
And by their own strict rules, because I don't have any personal feelings to or against. I think it's discriminatory in their personal religion. You're really only a real quote unquote Jewish person if your mom is Jewish. So Ivanka's kids are not Jewish. I'll talk to right-wing Jewish or Israelis like this, and I'm like, so I just want to be clear, patrilineal Jews, if it's your dad's Jewish, you're not really Jewish. And they're like, no, like it's okay. That's like a new age thing. Or you can still convert Judaism, but you'll never be considered like ethnically like an indigenous Jew if your mother is the one. At least that's what if I have that wrong some way, please feel free to correct me. I'm not making any definitive claims, but yeah, you can just like literally in fact, you could be really Jewish from your mom's side, right? Your grandma's grandma could be Jewish, and everybody else, the other 250 grandparents, descendants you have could have been devout Catholics, but you have more of a claim to the land because your mom's mom was Jewish, so you're Jewish, than a Palestinian who had been living on the land pre-Nakba, right? Than a Palestinian who had been living on the land for at least the last 400, 500 years. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Let me let Viking Mom jump in here real quick.
Yeah, I was going to say, so Jazz, you're American.
Yep.
Carson, you're
American, African American.
Yeah, but I meant the country. Sorry, darling.
Oh yeah.
You live in America. Carson, you live in America.
Yes.
Vegas, K&A, resistance, obviously Jack, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I love you. You're so sweet. Name me a time or a war or a time or place that Israel's actually supported America in a war.
Never.
Okay.
I
I'll
guess
ask myself.
Not a single one. Not that I can remember. And they'll be, yeah.
I'll ask myself the question: when did or has Israel supported United Kingdom in a war? Never. So it seems to me we are the puppets. It seems to be we are basically doing their bid in God's work, i.e., they're cowards. They've never fought a war by themselves. They've relied on your country, my country, to do their bidding. That's how simple it's going to be. So it just shows you, right? It just shows you these are the cowards. They've got everything laid on their plate to do America and the UK to do their dirty work. This just shows you guys. This is how simple it's going to be. They're a bunch of cowards. They've never fought a war or won a war or never become an empire. That's how simple it's going to be. You guys are American. I'm from England. We've just answered our own question. But then it seems to me, Jazz, and it seems to me everybody else, we are the puppets. We are paying them. It's coming out of your tax money, and innocent lives have been taken because of this silly, pathetic Polish man. Cowards. They're a bunch of cowards. That's how simple I want to say.
What's up, Carson?
Yeah, I don't know if Nana already said it, but everyone knows that Israel already stated they're not going to be sending in any troops, right? Okay, maybe I'm behind.
No,
Sorry.
you're right. You're right.
I'm just like,
it
I
was a
mean,
trick
as
question.
expected, but like,
They're like, you know what they're saying? They're like,
Hold
well,
on.
they're gonna be sending special forces. They don't want you to know about. Yeah, right.
Go
Yeah, right.
Go ahead, Carson.
no, it was just that, like, it's disgusting, and you know, we're losing soldiers every day. They're lying about the number that we're losing. They're deploying a lot more there, the reserves. It's just ridiculous. I don't know, but I also feel like these soldiers need to quit. Like, why are they going? I know it's not that simple, but I don't know. It just drives me crazy.
Conscientious objection is skyrocketed. Apparently, they haven't released the full numbers, but it's there's a lot of conscientious objections. I'd be excited to see when this is all over. I want to compare it to like Vietnam or other modern wars because, as we all know, this is the most unpopular war in U.S. history in the modern era, at least. I'd have to check. I think Vietnam, obviously, but that's only because they had to do a draft. This is in the Iraq war. They actually were successful in manufacturing consent. Like at the beginning of the war, it was like there was over 90% post 9/11, 90% support of the war. By the end of the Iraq war, it was down to like 34 to 36. The top rank of based on the population, right wing, left wing in America, the highest I've seen is 33. The highest I've seen is 33%. So they're already starting at nobody supports this war. Right wingers, left wingers, independents, nobody supports this war. Imagine where they're going to be in a few months, where this quagmire has gotten himself into. Imagine where we're going to be.
Wow.
Mind you, completely optional. Israel, like literally completely optional. This has been the most, they didn't even do a fake flag. They didn't even do a false flag. Like they just did it. He just was like, okay, I'm going to do it. Like, I want you guys to understand how unprecedented this is.
And illegal. Go ahead, Carson. It's open panel. You ain't got to put your hand up in the chat.
My bad. Oh, I didn't know. I was just gonna say, you guys probably already know this too, but I think it was the head guy of counter-terrorism retired, and he said that he has to do it to try to prevent a nuclear winter because it's that serious. So like, no, I mean, at least I understand. I think we all understand that this is like unprecedented, and when you say where are we going to be in a few months, that's what I'm worried about, because the guy who's in charge of all of this crap is stepping down and saying, hey, I'm being forced to resign because I need to make this statement in order to plead, you know, to the administration to prevent a nuclear winter.
I add something real quick, Jazz.
Yeah, what is it?
I just wanted to tease out and re-solidify. I think everybody did this already on the panel, but just in case there's anyone listening, both Coach and Zach tried to deny the existence of the Greater Israel Project, and we all know that that, of course, is real. But anyone who is unaware just needs to Google what Bibi has said about it, what Mike Huckabee has said about it. You know, it not only is that part of the plan, but I'm what I know we're not talking specifically about the war right now, but all over TikTok, whenever there is discussion of that, I think all eyes need to be also on Lebanon right now because in my opinion, that's the most explicit example of them playing that out, right? Like they uh, have not even a very believable excuse of trying to create buffer zones for themselves. And of course, they've done this before. They've done this to Jordan. They've done this to Syria, and so that expansionist goal at play quite visibly. And I just want to always be highlighting that.
I agree.
Also, there are
1,000%
people.
on that, but look what they obviously. I would never ever miss. I would never obviously think that Lebanon's done nothing. Lebanon has always been on my radar. Syria has always been on my radar. Yemen, all of those countries always been top of my head. But you've got to look about it now, Jazz, right? You've got Syria. If you look at the map of Syria, Syria is quite big for what it is, right? Look where it sits on the border. They've already taken Golan Heights because they've basically begged the Druzes to do their bidding yet again because they're cowards. Look what part they just took now. A place called Saida. Saida, it's literally about couple of hours away from Damascus, the capital of Syria. They're looking to settle there. Why? It's because of the settlers. They are reaching that goal of the area from Syria. They want to take Lebanon. They want to take South Beirut and Northern Beirut. Look at what they're trying to achieve. And to what KNA was saying, they want to take areas of Turkey. Why? Because of the route of the trading, right? They want to take areas of that because of the routes. If you look at that map, if you get a map up, you'll see exactly what I mean. It's all about the trade routes. So what Coach was saying is absolute bullcrap. It's bullshit. That's how simple it's going to be.
Exactly. The Belt and
I
Road
just
Initiative,
I want to.
IMEC. Belt and Road Initiative and IMEC is 100% what's going on here and what is at stake. That's why it's China
Can
versus
you
the
repeat
United
what those
States.
are?
IMEC and
Can you
China's
explain
Belt
what
and
those
Road.
are?
Yeah, China's Belt and Road Initiative. Yeah, I'll
No, what
actually.
IMAC is. Yeah.
It's
While
China's
you're
Belt
doing
and
that,
Road
Jazz,
Initiative.
while you're doing that, we got 20 minutes to get 18 hearts. Please,
I
please.
don't think we're gonna get it, but if we get it though, that'll be awesome. This is IMEC. It's an international route. No,
Got
trade.
you.
China's new Belt and Road Initiative. You see how it connects? What is
Mm-hmm.
this here, man? Yeah, they want to basically run everything through
All of
Israel,
this.
connected all the way, and then China also has a train from Tehran all the way to Beijing. A train route. And the day that train route was completed was last year. And the next day, what happened? Israel bombed Tehran. That's what they did because they were pissed off that China got that train completed. And they knew that trade was up for stake. And what did they do? They went and did that. Why? You understand now because it's all about trade. And that's what China's about to run. And you were going to say something?
Yeah, no, I mean, that's just another, now I have another expansionist project because I just want to list again all of the things that either have come out through like it's not, I'm not making this up. These are things that people have either accused Israel of wanting to do or they have directly said, right? I just want to go through the list one more time because again, it doesn't matter if can't make these on your own. You have the United States military on your beck call that basically has proven that they will attack any country after either a little giving him $300 million. I just want to go through the list of things again that definitively has come out of this side. Like this idea, because there's a lot of war hawks that want to pivot to China. That's what you keep hearing. Like China is the next frontier. China is the next frontier. I think it's in fundamental. We can share the world with China from a geopolitical standpoint. They don't have their tentacles in our government in the same way, regardless of what anyone believes. China is not deeply embedded. There is no China pact in America where if the Democrats or the Republicans don't go along with what they say, their political career is in stake. They do not operate. You're allowed to criticize China as a public school teacher in any country or any state in the United States without fear of being fired. You're not allowed to do that for Israel in like 36 states. You're not allowed to be a federal employer being caught supporting or in any way supporting BDS or talking about Israel in a negative light. This is like America. We all know the influence that they have. Why would we want a small country in the Middle East to have that much influence in our government? I mean, China is not doing that. They want to colonize Cyprus. Like I definitively believe
Doesn't
that
this doesn't this article attribute to exactly what you just said, Nana? Governor Abbott condemned City of San Marcos anti-Semitic resolution when they found out $4.4 million of their money was being sent to Israel every single year.
Israel.
And they're not being put into their schools, their roads, their infrastructure, their medical system. None of that is being put back into them. And they wanted to keep that
Someone
money.
said in the comments, you can't protest Israel in Arkansas.
They wanted to keep that money within their community. Governor Abbott seriously did get up out his wheelchair to come and make sure that this shit did not go by. 100%. And that's the type of power that they have on our country, as if it's not so obvious.
And it has nothing to do with the fact that they're Jews. They could have been any identity. They'll weaponize. That's when they weaponize their identity. Say, well, you're only bringing this up because we're Jewish people. But it has not. This could have been Nigeria. It could have been freaking Kazakhstan. It could be any country that had this much influence, regardless of what the atrocities they were committing, is wrong. I just want to go through this list really quick. They want to colonize Cyprus. They want to potentially, I don't know if they'll actually do this because Greece is considered part of Europe, but there are islands in Greece I wouldn't be surprised if they want to have control over. I do think they want to have control over the Sinai, even though they gave it back to Egypt. And by control over the Sinai, that means having an Egyptian governor leader who is strictly on their side and does what they're told when they're told in regards to that. In the Suez Canal, I think they want to put a base in Yemen and actually establish Somaliland so that they could control what happens in Yemen. They could take that so-called burden off of Saudi Arabia. I do believe they want to create a Kurdish state, which I'm not necessarily against, but not at the expense of the modern states that we have now. And I'll just say that, or of the Syrian Turks or the indigenous minority. I don't know if it would be worth the bloodshed to create that. I think they want to move and focus on Turkey, like I said earlier. I think that they realize that outside of Iran, Turkey is another threat to them in another way. It goes through that strait, like you were saying earlier, or close to it. And Turkey is a member of the EU that has their population overwhelmingly supports the Palestinian people, right? I think they want to control the Barbary Strait. I think they want to have influence in the Eastern Mediterranean, the Persian Gulf, the Suez Canal, like you said, the Caspian Sea. They have their fingerprints all throughout our defense industry, like people with dual citizenship to Israel, people who are open Zionists, whether they be Christian, white American, WASP Zionists, or they be members of Israel, Jewish people who are Israeli. They have the highest influence in the upper echelons of our military industrial complex. It's been proven. The AI, the software, often bought by the United States will either buy or do what's it called? Like it's like a trade partnership that they have with Israel. Like they sell us technology and we think that they don't know how to I'm supposed to trust that they don't know how to operate our defense mechanisms when they have a huge part in creating it. No, it's no other country in the world has that much influence in our government. I don't care if they'll always argue other groups donate more, other groups give more. It doesn't matter. Israel is the one that has the most consequences associated with it, period. If anyone can name another country, please do. Please.
Right.
Name a single European country that has this much influence.
No, just a quick one. Just a couple of things you just said. There's things I disagree on massively. So when it comes to Cyprus, right, you've got Cyprus as a whole. You've got the Greek part and you've got the Turkish area. Okay, that's why you've got the Türk Cumhuriyet and the Yunan Cumhuriyet, which is the Greek Cypriots and the Turk Cypriots. They're already settled in an area called Lefkoska. Lefkoska is an island not far from the Greek area of Cyprus. So if you look at Cyprus as a whole, got the literally the border right in the front. I've been
Thank you,
there. literally on one
MK.
side.
Send it
Oh,
send it
hello,
to
darling.
Sammy, MK, for sure, but thank you. Go ahead.
So you've got, if you look, sorry, darling. So if you look at the map of, if you look at the map of Cyprus right now, so you got the Turkish, which is the north, the southern, which is the Greek. There's an area, a little island, just a small island called Lefkoska. We call it Lefkoska. In English, it's Nicosia. They've already settled there already. So the Greek Cypriots are already kicking them out. But what the Greek government is doing, so separate the Greek government to the people. The Greek Cypriots, the Turkish Cypriots do not want them there. They've already told them to kick them out. They don't want them. That's why they're protesting nearly every single day. A massive ship came through where my father's cousin's daughter saw come in. They were cursing, swearing at every single person on the Greek Cypriot of the border. They were cursing at them. A lot of the restaurants have been vandalized. A lot of the people have been kicked out and the houses have been destroyed. But what they are doing, the Greek Cypriot Prime Minister has actually done an agreement with the Knesset, with the Greek, with the Israeli PM Milikowski, saying if you do this, we do that. You can have this part of the island. So they've already done an agreement. The reason why they've done that agreement is because Israel wants to go against Turkey, Greece wants to go against Turkey, and the Kurdish people of that area of region wants to go against Turkey. That's why they're trying to cause a massive discrepancy for us to go into war. Turkey has already said they don't want to go into this war unless for one circumstance, if the PKK, YPG and SDF supporters ends up joining against Iran that are going to be standing with Israel and America, that's when they will go into war. But as it stands right now, we've got over 1.2 million soldiers already on standby. As we speak, because my cousin is serving, they're already on standby. Erdogan's already made the statement, if those individual people join, we will go into war. But as it stands, Greek government, right, just literally the Greek government, the Greek Cypriot government has already agreed to join with Israel against us. That's why everyone is against us as we speak. But Israel knows, Naftali Bennett knows very well, okay? If you attack us, the consequence is going to be on you. They've already done 4 boom booms against us already, which has been intercepted by NATO. Iran came out and said it wasn't them. And I trust Iran. They got no reason to attack us. None. Okay? They haven't even lied on one they've done against Israel. They haven't done it. They have blamed Mossad. They have blamed the Kurdish people. The Kurdish Mossad are the ones who done it to us to get us into war. So as it stands right now, if you look at that area of region, that's why they are trying to get us into a war. But we said it. We're not going to do it unless those people join.
All right.
I'll send you all the info.
Tina, how you doing?
Please send me some.
I'm
I would
doing
like to
good,
get
thank you.
this side as well.
Thanks for joining the panel, Tina.
No, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Great conversation, you guys. When Viking Mom said, when has Israel backed up United States or England for that matter, and I always say this, and people need to catch up with this, because think about whenever Ottoman Empire fell during World War I, and then during World War II, you need to understand that small entity of a state called Israel, it's not going to back up because they can't, because it is a failed colonial project made up by United States and England. They wanted it there, so they don't expect them to come and help them. They are the ones that are supporting. It's a welfare state. You know it. Everyone should know it. It's just an entity that is run by, and they make it look like that way because it was convenient enough for them, not convenient actually, planned prior to World War II. And then that's why they brought it there, to have the influence in the Middle East and to have connection to all these other places so they can control it all. We know who the villains are, but that thing needs to be wiped out of the map. However, in order to do that, we need to have our governments changed, meaning United States and England. And that's when it would fail completely. That project will fail because it's not them influencing, it's them wanting, England and United States, and them wanting to make it look like Israel is influencing them, period.
Real quick, We got 9 minutes to get 13 hearts. Jazz, I'm gonna drop down so I can do a heart me from my other account.
All right, I'll
I know
bring
I'm
it
going to
up.
do that in a second as well.
All right. And one thing you said, in order to get it to happen, I understand what Tina, when you say the United States and the UK have to get right in order for Israel to fall.
Yes.
How it would look tangibly is this would have to get repealed. Like this right here, what I'm highlighting on the screen. If you can read it, if you can't, I'll read it to you.
I can't read it. If you can read it for us, because it's too small.
It
But
says to veto any one-sided anti-Israel resolutions at the United Nations Security Council. That's what it says.
Yeah.
And this is called the United States Israel Enhanced Security Cooperation Act of 2012. This was put in under Obama. This is what needs to go away first. Very first.
Exactly.
If you can get that gone first, now we're talking about something. But till then, we're stuck with these people. That's how deep we are with them. To
Exactly.
take any one-sided against, it's insane to me. That's with any country.
There's name a single country where you're not allowed to criticize like this. No, can everyone in the comments, because they'll tell us that we're being anti-Semitic. Can we you can criticize Britain, every single European country that's an ally. We can make fun of Canada. You could boycott a Canadian. This is like we're talking about our northern ally, like our that's homogenous.
Right in the
It's
border,
like it
yeah.
was a former colonial power, right? You can criticize any country in the Western Hemisphere, and of course you can criticize the global South. They don't care if you talk about other Muslim countries or other countries in the Middle East. They don't care if you talk about Saudi Arabia in a negative light, even though they're our ally. They don't care about if you talk about Muslims at large, even though we're allied with Qatar and Saudi Arabia and these countries that are, majority Muslim. You are not allowed to criticize Israel. That's it. You can criticize Turkey and a member of the EU. You can have Russia have all of their athletes banned from all sorts of sports games because of invading Ukraine. But Israel gets to participate in every single event, even though they committed a wholesale genocide in Gaza, and their players were coming and celebrating it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they are super protected class when it comes to like in personal life. I think that's different because that varies from person to person. But when it comes to our politics, they are what?
Yeah, Nana is here as well, so I don't know if you saw it, Nana or Jazz. King Charles, our King Charles, as you all know. Look what he's got himself involved in. So you can look this up, Jazz. He's part of a Jewish anti-Semitic charity, which is basically there to look after any Jewish individuals who face racial or discriminative attacks. Bear in mind, if you know our royal family, he's German. Our king's German. His father was German. Who did they unalive? The Jews. You've also got our prime minister. His wife is a Z, who's been over to Israel and kissed the wall. Here is exactly the same, but also you also had that individual who got racially abusive against an Al Jazeera journalist in Golders Green, London. Look what happened to him. Found out he was part of the Metropolitan Police. He's also been suspended as we speak. But he's also, I will guarantee, he's been let go the next day. Right? We all know that. But if you look at from our ties, when Prime Minister Keir Starmer made the announcement of recognising Palestine as a state, I don't know if you saw the speech, Jazz. You saw it was done by force. He didn't want to say it, nor wanted to do it. Because if he really cared about the Palestinians and recognising them, opening an embassy, why didn't he shred the Balfour Declaration letter that was actually made here in the UK? Because it's hidden. It's hidden, Jazz, under the what's it called? The House of Lords. It's hidden in a cabinet, right? If people really cared, Jazz, if our governments really cared, they would have done it by now. But I'm sorry they haven't.
No, but that's why we need to revolt or whatever it is that we need to do to get them off of and get a clean slate. Because, and I don't know if anyone else caught this, but Caroline Levitt, maybe Jazz, you saw it, recently in a White House press conference interview. You know what she said? And I don't know if anybody caught it. Said our country was founded on Judeo-Christian.
Yeah, they love
Did you hear that? Did
Oh
you
yeah,
not hear that? I
it's a
was like,
dog
now
whistle.
what the fuck are you talking about,
It's a
bitch?
dog whistle. All the Zionists, even though it's a completely different faith, like, and not that it matters. I'm not a religious person, but
Me neither, but
it's such a tell, because Christian evangelicals will always say Judeo-Christian. I mean, their whole thing, bases on when the second temple fell, and their belief, right? Their
uh-huh.
supremacist belief. If like these people like to lie, they believe that they're the chosen people, so the chosen people can do no wrong. Like, this is Christian evangelicals, people like Caroline Levitt, who grew up the way that she did, they believe in that. So Judeo-Christian, I'm not surprised at all. It's a lot of people's main, more so. Like, I would put that belief in a canon next to, like, are you pro-life? Right? That's a thing that drives their politics. Like, there's so many of them in this country that, like,
100%.
how do you feel about Israel? Like, that is like paramount to being pro-life or not. It's I know, and we should call it out as such. When you hear them say things like that, their
Exactly.
interpretation, it's a supremacist one, because it basically, you'll watch these videos online, right? You'll see these
Real
videos
quick,
at
Anna,
these evangelical
hold on
churches.
1 second. Hold on
Yep.
1 second. We got 3 minutes, less than 3 minutes to get 6 heartbeats.
Okay,
I know
I'm
some of y'all
gonna
got extra accounts.
go ahead.
Yeah,
No.
I know some of y'all got other accounts. If y'all can flip over to them real quick so we can knock out these last 6 heartbeats, we would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you can keep tapping, sharing the live out, give Sammy, he always comes with the updates, and we really appreciate him being here. But other than that, just 6 heartbeats, please.
We love Sammy. W Sammy always. But yes, I'm gonna go and flip the other way. I just wanted to come by and say hello and keep up the great work, you guys. Keep up the great work, Jazz. We appreciate you.
Thank you, love. Thanks for coming up, Tina.
I appreciate you, Tina.
Viking Mom, Janam, good to see you.
There's the man.
All right, I'm gonna flip. I'm gonna go, and then I'll continue to listen, but I have stuff to do. But thank you so much, guys, for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I
Yep,
think
bye-bye.
There's a
Jazz,
vile,
I think a lot of our
there's a
Jazz,
vile
do you
Zio
remember
trying to come
the-
up here. But what'd you say, Nana?
I think that our when we talk about foreign policy moving forward as leftists or people on the left, even liberals, whatever, centrists, whatever you are, we need to be talking about Israel as a state in a way that specifically discusses how they want to be a superpower and how they're a dangerous superpower and how they would be more of a threat, in my opinion, to the United States than Russia and China. I honestly believe if they're allowed to grow in the way that I think they want to grow, because it's one of those twisted abusive relationships where they run our they run our foreign policy apparatus and our government, but we're still when millennials and Gen Z are in power, Gen X too, I'm sure, then we're back in power, right? Because it's the boomers, it's that generation that's like dead set on doing whatever Israel says. They are well aware that their time is almost up, right? As far as like in the next generation, they understand that the U.S. is not going to be supporting them at all in any capacity, at least when it comes to the military, very soon, and therefore
You got 30
that's
seconds.
why
30
that's why
seconds.
they're and that's why they're excuse me, I'm so sorry.
2 heartbeats for less than 30 seconds.
And that's why they're acting the way that they're acting. So
15 seconds, y'all.
my whole thing
Come on,
is
somebody.
if we don't stop them, if we allow for them to get away with this, get away with Iran specifically, if we allow for them to not be held accountable for their atrocities in Gaza, for their apartheid in the West Bank, for their annexation, they're calling it a buffer zone. We'll see. That remains to be seen. I don't think it is. In Lebanon, they're going to continue, and it will get to a point where their power, their influence will be so large, just like literally when it comes to what land they're able to take, how what influence they're able to exert in the Middle East by force, that they will become a superpower. And I would rather be not so much Russia, but I'm okay with, I have my issues with China for sure, but I'm okay managing the world or having them closer aligned because our economies depend on it and for other reasons than I am with having Israel, period.
You follow Professor Jiang, right?
I've seen some of his videos. I do not follow him though.
All right. Well, I mean, seeing his videos, he's
Yeah.
saying that say in the Middle East, Iran is emerging as a national superpower, and
Yeah,
then it's going to
absolutely.
be Iran, Israel, who's going to have to hold it down in the Middle East, sadly, and China's going to be coming up and getting their shit together, and so is Russia as well. But the United States is the one that's going to be taking a step back because of the Gulf states choosing
Iran
Iran and wherever
or
they want to
China.
go.
Mhm.
Like Saudi Arabia is going to go with Israel, Qatar is going to go with Iran, UAE is probably going to go with Iran. Maybe who
Mhm.
knows where Bahrain's going to go, but they're going to start choosing other sides, and they're not going to choose America because Donald Trump did not defend them when they needed
Exactly.
him the most.
Well, they are
Exactly.
stupid,
But
Jazz. They
he
are
did. It's not
stupid.
that
Look
he
what
didn't
he's done.
defend them. It's that he put them in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
He is the reason that it happened. He is the main catalyst that it's he. You know what I mean? Like they
Yeah, but
manifested it for
Nana,
themselves.
Nana, look what Trump said though. He's threatened every country in the NATO base, right? 32 countries in NATO. He has threatened every single one of them. If you don't help me in this war, your tariffs will go up. Why do you think Spain responded? France responded. Ukraine
Yeah.
responded. Every single one responded back and say, no, we won't be joining. This is why they are back in Iran. Reason why they did that, because America hasn't been boomed. If America, the country, had been boomed, no shadow of a doubt, the NATO countries would assist. But they have realized, hang on a minute, you're attacking Iran on
Yep.
behalf of Israel. Why should we help you? That's how simple it is. Spain clearly said that. France, even I was shocked with the French because we don't get along with the French. But France said that. Every country said that. So you can explain to myself, why did Trump make that statement in that interview? I'm going to be pulling out of NATO. Hang on a minute, you absolute dumbass.
Don't.
Why
And
are they not supporting you?
it goes against, ultimately it even goes against his own basis, ideological thing. Like you're never, for like the white supremacists and the people who care about, like, you know, Europe's indigenous people, like the white race, quite frankly, like he's losing in all rounds. Because I'm listening to all the groypers are like, he needs to calm down with the way that he talks about, you know, these European countries, because the implication is, if they stop helping them, the big fear of Europe is obviously Russia, right? Russia will is you can, you know, go into Ukraine, and they could go into the other Eastern European countries, and they can have influence and like former Yugoslav, like whatever, right? And so he's threatening them. He's threatening to annex Greenland, which is, you know, an indigenous country, but is seen in the eyes of the right as a white country, right? They're threatening to go, he's threatening to invade under their own terms. Obviously, we see what they did to Cuba, what they're doing to Cuba. He's an expansionist. Like, he's doing every war that the neocons have been salivating over. He's doing Cuba for Marco Rubio, you know, the Gusano class, the former slave owner class, right? And I'm not going to say that Cuba didn't have a lot of problems, but regardless, with or without the blockade, right? But I am saying it's like this administration, this right wing authoritarian administration, pretended to be anti-war, said they weren't going to be like George W. Bush. Like they didn't even pretend, like they didn't give us the the at least try to fake it. There was no Colin Powell going to the EU to talk about enriched uranium. Like they're just like, Israel wants us to do this, and
Exactly.
we're gonna do it. That's just, and every other country, Europe and everyone in the world. I mean, the global South, they don't care what we think, but Europe
But
be
to what you
damned.
said earlier, Nana, I forgot to mention this to you. I do apologise. You mentioned something about the black slavery and about BLM, Black Lives Matters. We had a big, massive protest, Black Lives Matters, in London, because we've got a massive African community in London, Somali community. It's huge. As Zio came out, it was all over social media. It got closed down. I can't find it anywhere. This is how bad it is. It's completely gone. A Zionist Jew came out and said, why are you protesting against your own people? It was a black man it was the first black, no, what do you say? The first person who sold your own people was the black man. Right? That came out virally, Jazz, over the UK, England a couple of years ago. I cannot find that video anywhere. None. Zilch. I just asked Sarah in the comments. Can't find it. It's
Well,
completely gone. Spanish
we've
does.
seen Palestinian. I mean, you're Britain has a free speech problem. Period. Like that's like a very
No,
known
we
thing.
don't.
But
No, we
there's a
don't.
there's a Palestinian woman who keeps getting arrested. And she's been arrested like 5 times for comments
A
that she's
doctor.
made. Yeah,
Yeah, she's
I
a
forget her
doctor.
name. And they just every time they come, they'll be like, "Oh, well, you made a comment on TikTok or you made a comment on Twitter." They're like, "Do you have your phone?" She's like, "You guys literally have my phone." I thought like I'm using other people's phones and other people's computers to type because you literally took my phone and my laptop. Like, what? You get I mean,
There,
say what you Well, what is that? What is that?
there's
TT.
a long legacy also of journalists being fired because they've tried to expose what's happening to Palestinian people, and that's like even before October 7th, and that's global. There's a long list. Besides what they do to journalists inside the area, it's suppression all the way.
And Angela, it's open panel, so you just gotta jump in there when you can. Or you can go ahead right now.
Hi. Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to like say something. There were a couple of Zionists in the comment section that were telling Americans to leave America for
Adam in specific, who's too scared to come
Sorry.
up here. You there,
Well,
Angela?
What was he yapping about? I missed
well,
that.
she's
She
choking
said,
the nices in the comments talking about I'm a
I
Mossad agent.
swallowed.
One of them is in
Ooh,
the
what?
comments talking about being a Mossad agent.
Yeah,
in
so
Vegas.
Yeah, Lemonice is claiming I'm a Mossad agent.
it's like it's funny that they think that's the thing. Like they think
let
that
me let
joking
Angela
about that
finish
is
what she
funny.
was saying real quick. I got you right after Angela.
yeah, sorry. So what I was gonna say was, they're sitting here telling Americans who are doing what we as Americans are allowed to do, which is have freedom of speech and speak against things that our government is doing that we don't like. This is what democracy is. This is why we're allowed to talk about these things. This is why we're allowed to speak about these things. It is why we're allowed to talk about anything that we want, right? In these spaces. And that's why Zionists are so threatened, right? That they will tell Americans who are having their freedom of speech to go to North Korea or Iran because they don't like the speech that you're doing. They don't like this speech because why? It threatens their comfort. And at the beginning and end of the day, we as Americans are allowed to do this. If you don't like this, go to Israel. They don't let freedom of press there. Israel is so controlling of press, they even made it so that Al Jazeera, you can't even pull it up on YouTube in Israel. So if you don't like Americans using their freedom of speech, you leave. Because I'm not telling you to leave because I don't like what you say. I don't like what Zionists have to say. I don't like what Zach had to say, thinking that he's all superior. I don't like Zionists. I'm going to speak against Zionism to the day I die. But if you don't like it, then you can go. But the thing is we like our freedom of speech, and so we're going to keep using it. And you Zionists are going to have to keep whining in the comments section because you don't even have the guts to come up here and say it yourself with your full chest. Because you are weak cowards. And on top of that, I just saw that the Syrians are now rising up and talking about crossing the border to go break those prisons open that you're torturing Palestinians in. The Syrian military is even participating in those protests. The walls are caving in on you everywhere because your ideology
Angela,
is
Hold on, let Angela land
like
plane
the
real quick.
Nazis. The ideology is like the Nazis. You guys have now become the Nazis.
So we need to talk more about, again, this is another example. Like they try to determine and be the ones to tell us who is a theist, who is a military leader that we need to crush. We need to really crush the Ayatollah. He's so oppressive to his people. The leader of Syria, who they're back, who's his puppet, he is Turkey. He works in tandem with Turkey, but he also does the bidding of Israel, right? was a former Al Qaeda. I don't know if you can say that on here. We have pictures of him on the internet holding up heads that are no longer attached to bodies, right? And but not a word about him. That's not a we need to crush Iran. We need to crush Iran, a civilizational state, right? Similar to Turkey, similar to China, India, Russia, that has been around or has a continuous history of over like what 3,000, 4,000 years. They think
6,000
that
years.
6,000 years
6,000 years.
for Iran, right? They think they can just go in and be like, like that. They want a new super state with their hegemon, with their history being paramount. They weaponize the stupidness and the religious psychosis of right wing American evangelicals. Like, I want to be very clear. The other type of people that join the military outside of the run of your mill American who needs $40,000 extra dollars, or who this is a way out for them to go to college. There's evangelical right wingers themselves, like people who they've been talking about this in their right wing evangelical churches, their Greg Locke churches, where they're literally taught that your entire life's service, your entire life's worth is to bring about the next coming of Christ, and to do that means being in complete support of Israel. I know people like this. I grew up around people like this. Their kids are the ones that are joining their kids are the ones that are joining the military. They're ideologically aligned with this type of shit. Okay, so it's not just there are people who are doing this because they actually want to. They really believe in the cause, whatever. And so we have to start talking about Israel through eyes of geopolitics, strictly about what do they have to gain. Imagine an Israel that has taken even 30% more land, right? Taken larger parts of Syria, taken all of southern Lebanon, taken all of Area C of the West Bank, quite frankly, taken obviously the Golan Heights.
Bethlehem. Everywhere.
Everything.
Yeah.
I mean, they already think that's theirs, right? It's the Armenian Quarter. They always harass them up there. Although if you tell them that that's not true, they'll tell you that you're lying and you're making shit up. But no, we need to look at this as a threat to American sovereignty. A threat, I just don't want Israel. We need to feel comfortable saying out loud as Americans, we don't want Israel to become a superpower. No, I
There's
don't
been
want them to be a
documentaries made
superpower.
about it, Donald. If you look, I've done it from the America perspective. I've never seen a documentary come out from America except for Tucker Carlson. But there's been numerous amounts of documentaries, films made by British journalists, the films made by a British and American individuals like Joaquin Phoenix, Brad Pitt, made a film about Rajab and about Palestine. You've got a documentary that was made by a British journalist called Breaking Ranks Inside Israel's War. That documentary got banned in certain countries. I think it was banned in America. I think, it was definitely banned in America because no one could watch it. It was a documentary elaborating every single thing of what these people do. They even showed the cases on social media of what they have done. They have showed interviews with Milikowski. They have interviewed IOF soldiers that come from Ethiopia, all around the world, including Britain, from our country. 3 of them showed their faces. The rest were scared to show their faces because if they showed their faces, they will get unalived and pewed. Exactly what they said. They explained in depth how they use Palestinian children as weapons. They showed in depth about the tunnels that they hid food, aid, medicine, even kids that were unalived. Watch that documentary if you can download it, Nana. That would explain absolutely everything. And I mean not just everything. So these pieces of Hada can never say, oh, it was anti-Semitic documentary. Bear in mind, it was a British English man who made that documentary, who went over there and done it. It got banned because I'm pretty sure Taz and Palestinian Engineer couldn't find it. Obviously Taz is based in America. But look, if you can download it, Nana, find it and watch it.
What's it called?
Type into the comments right there.
Oh, okay.
My accent.
I was just going to ask you to put it in the comments. Thank you.
Yeah. Right. Because I've typed in so many times. Right, here you go, guys. Just watch it. Jazz, watch it if you can. Try see if you can download it.
I've already seen it.
Oh, you've seen it. Honestly, what do you think? Literally.
It's no matter at this point where I'm at, they can all admit to the things that they've done. It's not going to affect these people. I talk to them on Omegle every day, and just the way that they're so indoctrinated. You could literally probably do all these things you said to a Palestinian in front of them, and I think all of them would say it's justified.
Yep.
That's the point. That's the point that they're at. So
Yep.
it's important for everybody outside of Israel to see that. I totally understand it, but at the same time, they're the problem. The people in Israel that believe this shit are the problem. The ones every year going into the IDF like they have to,
From
being
America.
conscripted. Yeah,
Not the ones
from around the
that's
world,
the
from
one that
all around the
Around
world,
the
the
world.
from all
ones
around
that
the world.
they were picturing the one who
And
unalived in Lebanon and thought people would care.
yeah,
And you
and
left
it's
the
I appreciate you, but you can't be cutting me off. I really do appreciate you a lot, but it's tough when you cut me off and anybody else off on the panel. But real deal, that shit right there, the show is great, and more of it needs to happen. More of it needs to be spread all around the world. A lot more of it, and it's going to be effective outside of Israel. But what we need is some content that's actually going to affect people inside of Israel to show them just how indoctrinated they are. Israelism was one of the documentaries that kind of did that, because it showed to everybody else just how much indoctrination is happening in Israel. They live so close to the wall, yet some of them don't even know what the other side of the wall looked like. Before 2023, none of them know what the other side of the wall looked like at all. They didn't even know what Palestinians were, this, that, and the third. It was crazy. It's something I really don't understand. But yes, breaking ranks, this needs to be multiplied on many different levels. It needs to be spread out throughout the world. Go ahead, Nana.
Absolutely. And also, if you look at the speech
Hold
made
on.
by
It's
Hertz
Nana's speech. It's Nana's turn.
Oh, sorry, Dan.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I'm sorry for cutting you off, Jazz. I thought we were still doing open panel.
No, it's open panel. It's open panel.
Yeah, but
Just
you got to
don't
let
cut
people
anybody
finish. I'm
else off.
sorry.
Yeah.
Feel free, anyone, to jump in when I am if I'm doing too much. I was just going to say, I mean, the country is clearly, that's another trick that people will do. They are suffering from mass psychosis, right? Especially when the overwhelming majority of the citizenry, because we always try to I hear a lot of people say just blame the government, only Netanyahu. No. They support this war. They support the war in Iran. They supported the G-side up to the tunes of 80, 85. The discrepancy between the support for the genocide in Gaza was what the hostage what they were arguing about. The main argument was just how our hostages stop. Don't let any of our hostages, bomb the hell out of them to smithereens after we get our hostages, right? So that is the level in every element of society. What scares me the most, and this is a newer phenomenon to witness in the 21st century, is that they know how we feel about them. What you were saying earlier, Jazz, they need to no. They are well aware how around worlds they care. I've spoken to it it's a rite of passage for them. They have jokes about this shit. It has nothing to do with religion. It's just their beliefs on being quote unquote defending themselves after October, right? Their ongoing generational apartheid system in the Area C, an Area B of the West Bank, period, right? Their spirit, just based on the things you hear members of the Knesset openly talk about how they control our government, and the Americans will come to heal, and the Americans will do as we tell them to. Literally, you can find videos of them saying this openly, right? We'll get misconstrued of us being anti-Semitic when we point this out. Any government in the world, including Nigeria, it could be Nigeria, it could be Brazil, it could be an alien ship on Mars openly having the audacity to say that the Americans will do as they're told. I just that's how you know we are a colony in a colony. They run us. The brazenness.
No, it happens to their own people. But it happens to their own people as well. So I typed him into the chat, a guy called Hertzi Halevi. Hertzi Halevi was an ex-IOF member whose father served in the 1948 Nakba. Hertzi Halevi, I beg your pardon, let me rephrase, beg your pardon. Hertzi Halevi, who is an ex-IOF lieutenant military officer who retired last year, has been coming to the UK numerous amount of times of hiring British dual citizens. He came out and did a video last year in January, I think it was, mentioning admittedly to the public, we here unalived obviously I don't want to use the correct words for Jazz's life. We boomed the Red Crescent paramedic ambulance because we thought H group was in that ambulance. We apologize for the mistake, right? Those were the words he used. The amount of mistakes they have said, the amount of mistakes they have done, you can't, Jazz, none of us can count how many mistakes they have done. They've done it to hospitals, doctors, buildings, houses, homes. A mistake, right? That's what they classed it as a mistake. These people have opened
They
their
always
crimes
have an
throughout the
excuse.
years, and they've never been scared of it. Yeah, but they've never been scared of it. No, they've never been scared of opening what they have done. But what Jazz is trying to say, nothing's been done about it. All these documentaries, all these films, everything that's been mentioning Palestine have never been dealt with. Why? Because they've been heavily corrupted and bribed because of what your president has been involved with the Epi files and our government in terms of the Balfour Declaration and what we have been involved in, i.e. the Rothschild. All right? This is why our governments have been bought in, to keep our mouths shut, not to attempt, not to do this. You've got to think about it very logically, Nana. This is why our governments haven't done nothing. Even though they've admitted to their mistakes, even though they've admitted to their crimes. Everything.
I have very little knowledge on anything Rothschild related, but what I'll say is definitively, and I agree with you here, Viking, that our governments, every aspect, it's not just government, every aspect of the things that American citizens have been or look forward to has been completely taken over by people who share that ideology. And so there is no conspiracy, right? This isn't the same thing as what the Schnazis said, or they're taking, the excuses that they use. This is like, we're all definitively hardcore Israeli Zionists, like supremacists, especially the older one and his Nepo baby son, after they bought the shares of TikTok, right? Are both Democrats and Republicans basically made that happen. Once they had control of TikTok, Palestinian voices, although still on this app, have definitely been censored. A lot of accounts have been demonetized. And now and more importantly, they have certain aspects of our data, quite frankly, because that's what was sold. And it's another way for them to just track and keep records and notes on Americans that they find unsavory or are saying things about Israel that they don't like, i.e. people on this panel. And that's not even being conspiratorial. That's just that we all know, right? The Ellisons, hardcore Zionists, they'll tell us that it's anti-Semitic to assert that a certain ideology, regardless of religion, a certain ideology, their worldview that they put out tends to have unmitigated, obvious privileges in our media. And then a hardcore Zionist like Larry Ellison is trying to buy what will end up being 65% of all of American media. 65%. There's this graph that I have. I'm going to send it to you, Jazz, so you can show them. And this is a Zionist. So just imagine the types of things that movies and films and ideas and people who will be blacklisted and art that'll never be seen because the message is considered this is a new McCarthyist Red Scare thing, but the 2021st or 2026 version of it, 21st century version of it. I mean, every accusation, I feel like I'm being, gaslit. Every accusation or thing that I care about, somehow negatively, a Zionist or a supporter of Israel is involved in. Everything.
It's like this. No, you see this on the screen? Oh, shit. Well, it says every accusation is a confession. That's what it should say on it.
Yep.
I wanted to say to Adam, who's been going at me in the comments, you were the one that said I should leave America for my point of view. And now you're trying to ask me what my point of view is. And you're saying that as an American, I shouldn't have my point of view that Iran should destroy Israel or whatever. I'm not going to tell you actually my point of view because it's a lot more nuanced than anything you think you understand about what I believe. But I will say that as an American, I am allowed to say Iran should be destroyed or Israel should be destroyed, any of those things. And that's just the bottom line. It's my freedom of speech. It's anyone's freedom of speech. If Americans in large want Israel to be dismantled and created in a free state for all people, and if you don't like that, that's not anyone's problem but yours. And, Americans can speak for whatever they want to speak for. And this is why you keep on coming at me in the comments. I don't know. Just like it's always the Zionists who want to silence people's freedom of speech. Even if I were to say I want Israel to be destroyed, like that's my freedom of speech. That is my ability to be able to decide what I think is something smart or doable for the world. At this point, Israel is a rogue state.
Israel's on some wild shit right now. Wow. Did you
And
say
by
you were sending me
destroy,
some, Nana?
yes, I'm trying to find it right now, the screenshot that I just wanted people to understand and see the depth of what I'm saying. Give me 1 second. And by destroy, Angela, I'm assuming you mean like the government and the way that it operates and the current regime that they hold. I don't want the people of
Totally.
Israel to be
Yeah.
destroyed. I want the regime gone. I want
Exactly.
them forced. I need them to be treated like how a South African apartheid was treated.
And
Complete, like
Nazi Germany was treated
literally,
like
yes.
Germans still exist.
100%.
Germans still exist
Yeah,
in Germany.
you should be sanctioned to the point where you can't leave. Like, you know how the Afghan passport, they can only go to so many countries. Like the Israeli passport should be like you can't leave Israel until like you shouldn't. And I bet you things change as soon as possible. I bet you if we sanction them, no oil sent to Israel, no resources, no nothing. They have to do and die on their own. And the U.S. has the power. I would be completely in line with that until they change their ways. Because if we allow them to continue militarily, they're going to become that dominion superpower in the Middle East that thinks that they can boss the U.S. around, period.
And on top of that, I have to add that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez just came out this week saying that she actually now believes that there should be not even defensive aid to Israel.
Good. Finally.
So, I mean, the thing is that, a lot of these Zionists are starting to realize that the walls are closing in. Italy is literally saying now that Israel needs to be sanctioned. Europe is talking about sanctions on Israel. Like, if all of these things are happening at the same time because we all see what the problem is. We all see what the problem is. And you can't be mad at the world for seeing what the problem is. It has nothing to do with Jews. It has everything to do with what you guys are doing. It's the same as being able to call out the Iranian government for what they have been doing to its own people. I can hold both truths at once. And I can say that it is not in the benefit of the Iranian people to quote unquote BOMB them into the Stone Age. Sorry, go ahead, Biggs.
No, I just wanted to say, as far as AOC making that statement, wonderful. I appreciate that. But we still need to pay attention to how people are voting, because we know with midterms being around the corner, there are a lot of people who will say a lot of things. And of course, actions speak louder than words. So don't take anybody's word for it, especially if they have at some point in the past said something either to the contrary or that just doesn't align. Because at the end of the day, if this is something that they're trying to say to garner more support when it comes time to vote, and then, when it's time for us to vote, but then when it's their turn to vote on this stuff, all of a sudden now they had a second thought about it, or they got new information and shit like that. And then still also pay attention to who they're getting money from.
100%. 100%.
Yo, always follow the money. Always follow the money. Man, did Zach really come up here and say that what he said today for real? Did we just skip over
What did he
that?
say?
He's talking about what he's had to say about the African slave trade. All of his points.
He's a white
Oh.
supremacist.
He's an actual racist. I
Yeah.
always catch him telling black pro-Palestinians about it. There's never a conversation he has with because with white people you don't have to do this. You don't have to caveat the transatlantic slave trade or the Arab slave trade. He weaponizes our identity against us because he doesn't think it's right that somebody that looks like us could be pro-Palestinian regardless of the history. It's like a way for him to insult us and rub it in our faces and be like, Like, how dare you? Like, he feels entitled to the black support.
Yeah. And who's to say his family weren't slave owners? I mean, he said he was one of like their founding members, and because there were a lot of Jewish people that were slave owners in America.
The very few that were, there was a few in America, but they were mostly, it was like less than 2% of all jewelry. But the way that Jews were counted back in the American history, a lot of them, the pre-colonial ones, not the or during the colonial times, not the ones that came over in the 1800s, the late 1800s, like the ones that were, I'm sure that there were many of them who had Jewish mothers, but they were just considered white because of their fathers, period.
She said Zach is always drunk.
I don't know if you can really go by like only by the mother, because I'm pretty sure in the scripture it didn't say that. It actually said the opposite. Like, it either said Jewish by the father or it said by father and mother. I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure it was changed. So at this point, it's like, what are we even doing? But yeah, I don't know if we have enough power over Israel to do anything. I mean, I don't know. I like the way it's becoming more mainstream to not want anyone who's accepting AIPAC money. But for some reason, I don't know if I'm just like a pessimist. I feel like they completely own us. And at this point, we just have to pray that they don't literally take us out, especially if they're threatened.
I disagree.
Because I feel like that might be like the end of the story, is Israel, being like the best friend that turns on you, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
I don't think it's we very much so have way more control. I don't think it's an out of our control thing.
Well, obviously they have. Do you think they have any like leverage over this administration when it comes to like blackmail and things like that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think there's leverage for sure.
That's what I mean.
We also, I mean, the midterms are coming up, and
they know that they're running out of power, though, but they're actually more desperate.
Though. Like, we can say the midterms are coming up, but at the end of the day, the Democratic Party is still a Zionist party.
100%, actually, 100%. At least now, I do think that the voters are completely turned. Like, we're having our Tea Party moment that the Republicans had when Bush, during the Obama administration. Like, they are fighting tooth and nail to not do what we tell them to do. But we're going to take back. We're going to take back power. It is my belief that. But there is a percentage of the Democratic leadership that would rather have soft fascism than have like leftists get what we want. Like, I'm not even kidding. But I wanted to show you guys. This is the when we say that they, and by they I mean Zionists. I didn't say Jews, because the Christians can be Jews, or Christians can be Zionists. But this man is an Israeli dual citizen, American Israeli. He has citizenship in Israel. He happens to be Jewish. He is a Zionist. And look what everything, Jazz, check this out. Look at every single, if this merger goes through. And then when you click on everything individual, it's like over 350 IP, like from the smallest to not 350, 150 IP from the smallest to the largest. James Bond, Harry Potter, like basically anything that Disney doesn't own, they're going to own. This is like 70, BET, CBS, Paramount, Showtime, CBS News, Nickelodeon, MTV, Pluto TV, The Free Press, which is like a psyop for Israeli and talking points, Warner Brothers, HBO Max, CNN, Cartoon Network, DC. So they'll be controlling DC Comics, okay? Discovery, New Line Cinema, where like a lot of really good films come from, Food Network, TNT, Adult Swim, HGTV, like literally anything I've ever watched or want to watch is on one of these shows, and they want to own all of it.
Is that and the they own.
This is the Ellison Empire, the David Ellison Empire, and his nepo baby son. Excuse how messy my dirty my screen is, but yeah, this is them. I want you guys to understand. So it's not anti-Semitic to say that Zionists want to run and own and perpetrate our media. You're going to have a freaking Scooby-Doo character talking about next year in Tel Aviv, right? You're going to have in BET a Tyler Perry episode where Tyler Perry goes to Israel. right? You're gonna have like what else we have? All of these procedural TNT shows are gonna be any random 30-minute cop drama, 45-minute cop drama that you like is gonna have a whenever this type of thing is mentioned, it's gonna have a right-wing Israeli slant. And we're not allowed to bring it up. Imagine every actor that you love that's been in any film associated with this. They'll maybe not all. We'll have to see, but they'll be the casting system will be heavily influenced on what these guys say is okay or cannot. If the Ellisons have blacklisted you, if you're Javier Bardem, if you're anyone who signed letters talking and being in support of Palestinian people, and you get blacklisted, moving forward, like this might be Javier Bardem's last movie. This new what's it called? Dune movie that's coming out, right? But moving forward,
Dune is
yeah,
fucking good.
it's gonna be great. He's in that. If you're moving forward, if you're an actor who's been caught, a director, a writer, all they have to say is like you basically can only go to Disney, right? You can there's only and they own a lot of things too, let's be honest, but like they have blacklisted. There's already rumors that actor Susan Sarandon's been blacklisted. She has not been in an American film in 3 years. She talked about it. She only gets films now out of like Spain and Italy, right? Just I care a lot about film and TV. Like this is my thing. I'm just writer, director, anything about that. I love the process of that. They're gonna hand their hand in. So is it anti-Semitic to say that people who ascribe to this viewpoint are having control over? I mean, look, if it was a prince in Saudi Arabia, I would be saying the same thing. If one prince, the House of Saud, if anyone had this much influence, this should be broken up. This should be illegal under American
But you know what,
antitrust
Nana?
laws.
Yeah, I think especially if anyone has children or your 80s or 90s kid growing up, go back and watch the cartoons
Oh yeah,
that we used to watch and look at it from a more skeptical eye, and you will see this shit's been going on long before the Ellisons bought this shit.
oh absolutely. Oh, absolutely. It's not even. I mean, what are they going to do next? Sanction Miss Rachel? You know, she's a T supporter. Apparently, they're gonna get YouTube to demonetize her. Watch.
And also,
Ah,
they have the media too, right? Through like Zuckerberg,
that's what
because
I
they
was
all
saying.
run
Essentially,
together,
yeah.
the E-Class, So,
CNN, and then they wonder why nobody under 40. Like I'm like, who? You're literally just CNN and freaking Fox News, MSNBC. You're all you have is one foot in the grave, with all due respect to our boomers. Like that's who watches your show. Where are you guys going to be in 25 years? And there's a lot of them. So you think you're getting views. I mean, and their views are important. Like because we're all going to be old one day. I would never say that just because you're old, your opinions on pop culture or whatever don't matter. But like when it comes to news specifically, like who cares what, like, everyone's getting their news from online to YouTube. Okay. And they want to control that.
Yeah, they want to get those Kyle Kalinskis. They want to get the breaking points. Those people, they want to own them, but they can't own them because they're so independent. So do you think they want Candace so bad? They don't want to. They don't want to KIA Candace. They don't want that. They want to be able to control Candace because of the control that Candace has, the influence
The
that Candace
Zionists,
has.
the right-wing Zionists loved her when she was bashing black people. Ben Shapiro, his that's what I love about it, the right-wing war. I love that they're getting exactly what they deserve. They're cannibal. I couldn't, could you imagine if Ben Shapiro would have known that by hiring Candace Owens and giving her a platform, that would being his best enemy, the one on the right, her, Dave Smith, Tucker Carlson, who people I'll never vote for or support. I want to be very clear, especially if Tucker tries to run for president. But I mean, I love that this is coming to, like, everybody knows you're allowed to talk, always talk about everybody else, but the protected class are Jewish Americans. You're not allowed to talk about Israel in a negative light. You're not allowed to have commentary, in my opinion, because, outside of like saying the N-word and then getting caught, which, okay. But like, you're not allowed to have these types of, before all of them went independent, were they talking about this? Tucker was on Fox News making the same talking points, parading the same bullshit. This is like they had no problem with Candace Owens when she was bashing black people. They loved it. They told her to get us all off of the Democratic plantation, and she said yes, sir. But once she got married to a billionaire, so she no longer had to do what they told her to, and she could quit when she wanted. Right? Now all of a sudden she's she's apparently letting her freak flag fly. She's saying all the shit that she's saying.
Was she
And
married
I
a
find that
billionaire?
so
That boy a
funny.
billionaire?
Yep, the farmer.
I didn't know that.
Yes,
Wow.
yep. The George Farmer's dad is a evangelical billionaire he's a Tory from Britain for sure.
Yeah, I knew he was a bigwig, some British bigwig, but I didn't know.
Oh yeah, rich as
Yeah,
fuck.
I didn't know he was a Billy though. That's crazy.
He's a Billy. Yeah, and yeah, they're gonna try to start. That's what I'm saying. So imagine you get she hit a lick, and now she can say how she really feels.
Right.
Yeah, when you got that kind of fuck you money, like
she got man,
and she's making money
she
on
got
that
more than
YouTube
fuck you
too,
money.
so she's really got fuck you money.
Bro, she has
At
like
this point, they
she-
might take her out. Then I didn't know it was
And
like that.
I love how influential she is on the right. I love what she's doing with the Charlie Kirk shit. I think it's hilarious. I don't believe everything she says. There's some things that she says that are conspiratorial, but like these are the same party of Pizzagate. The roosters are coming. All the conspiracies that she's spreading. Some things it's very obvious that she actually liked and cared about Charlie Kirk. Like
No,
that's
she
the one
loved
thing.
that man. Like
Yeah.
she wanted to be Erica.
That was her. I don't know because she married.
Low-key,
She
right?
married. George Farmer is a good-looking dude. She married him before Charlie even met Erica. I think was really her bro. Like I think that was really her best friend. That's a guy. And look at the comments that they
Hold
shared
on,
between
let
each other.
Vegas say something.
Oh,
real
sorry,
quick.
that lost.
She wanted to be with that man, but they already had a plan for him, and she was not a part of that plan.
Oh,
That's true. That's true too, because he did have Zionist handlers.
but he was I'm not going to speak on that specifically, but it's obvious what she has right and what.
Did she go out for anybody else too?
I went out for a second. No, I'm sorry. No, what I'm not going to speak on their relationship, like if they were in love, ever were in love, like whatever it was. I just think I think Erica Kirk is clearly a very strange widow. The memes and everything that's going around her, like she is not helping her case. She is very suspicious. But the point I want to make is that it is so obvious that Charlie Kirk, even Candace has been making sure that that's part of his legacy. She has been regardless of, like, she's been a good friend in my opinion, because they have used, since he's been unalived, they have used that man through his wife, through his former castmates to proclamate this idea that he was like the 100% for the war in Iran, 100% okay. He played a pivotal role. It was already admitted that he was the one who got Trump to stop the war at 12 days. Like, there's been so much that has come out, and I do not like Charlie Kirk. I want to be like, I have laughed at every meme. I'm not a fan, but she is the only one, unironically, doing the work to preserve what's of that man's legacy. So, like, I'm not even kidding. Like, that was her guy. And if they were in love, whatever, I love that that's the role that she's taken. I'm glad that she's doing that instead of wasting her days telling Black people how to act. And so, it is what it is. And they're ripping the right-wing young people apart, which is awesome. It's good for us. Leftists are the ones always fighting. I love that they're fighting each other. I love that it's getting vicious. It's only going to help us with independence in the midterms, period.
I just want to say shout out to all my Black sisters. You have a way with words and getting your point across that just always cuts to the chase. And it's Black people that are going to lead us through these times, I believe. So shout out to y'all. I'll follow you into the dark.
Amen.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That was very kind.
Yep,
Hello.
Truthy and Santana
Yeah.
back on the panel. But yeah, it's been what the hell? I'm still stuck on exactly what Zach said, because this is how the conversation started. We were talking about geopolitics. He starts getting into all this victim mentality. He starts talking about proportionality. Then I said to him, this, that, and the third. he comes up with, well, 6 million of us got killed back in there. I said, all right, well, if you want to play the proportionality game, more Africans and black people died in the slave trade. Then the man had the audacity to say that it's at fault of the Africans in Africa as to why that many people died. And I think it was like 30 million or something like that. Right, Truth? What was the number? Truth, was it 30 million? Maybe she'll be back later.
30 to 60 million. 30 to 60 million.
He said that 30 to 60 million was all the fault of the Africans in Africa that sold there. I said, this is insane. Wait, who gotta? Nana, you just gotta drop and come back up. Nana, you there?
Okay, do you want me to come back on my burner
Yeah.
or do you want me to stay on this?
You can stay on this account. It's not a 10-minute or
Okay.
anything serious. That's a shock. They ain't gonna take Zach's shit. They're not gonna give Zach a violation, but they give her a violation. This is what's happening in America today.
There go those Ellison editors.
You think I'm telling you right now? They get me Las Vegas. I had to go and Truthy. I had to go get multiple accounts now. I got to start playing that game.
Yep.
Lal's live got completely banned.
Ooh.
And he had
Money's live got banana yesterday.
he had 22K followers. Did her live go down for good?
Her main account is banana permanently. Yesterday her live just went down. And for literally me singing airplanes is like wishing like it is just like the stupidest reason, and they took her down for that reason. So they're going after our accounts like crazy, though.
Hey,
But
shout
once
out to
again,
Jazz's mother.
it's American accounts. It's all American accounts. A Money's was an American account. I'm 99% sure Law's was an American account. Jazz, yours are American. Y'all got to get international, babe. Y'all want to survive? You guys got to get international.
Oh, I know. I need to get a VPN. You got to get VPNs to
too.
play games with these motherfuckers.
Proton, you have to make sure you're not getting Zionist VPNs either. Proton's a
Oh,
good one.
they're everywhere. I swear they're everywhere.
But
I think you
Proton's
said
good.
that you spoke to some of them and Meekly. I'm just like, because I know that they know that people talk to them. Like, they don't even care to show. I'm like, if I were you guys, they're not hiding their faces. They're remorseless. They know they could be clipped. They know that people, like, they know. And they're still like, dude, yeah, like, they need to be unalived or get out. Like,
You want to
all
see
of the,
it?
it's,
I'll show
and
it.
from
I'll
the
show it.
12-year-olds, to the, like, 50.
I'll show it to you. As soon as we pop on there and they see me, they start saying "Kushi, Kushi." Can you rap? Can you sing? Oh, or they'll just outright be like "nigger, nigger, nigger." It's insane how these Israelis are.
Which is the slur, which is the N word for
Yep.
Israelis.
Exactly.
I grab as many of their
Oh, you didn't know
faces
that?
as
Real
I
quick.
can.
Oh, I knew that.
Real quick, I don't know if Angela's still here.
Yeah,
Jazz
that's what I'm
has been
saying.
trying to get a hold of
And,
you.
but
Oh wait, hold on one
Nana,
second now.
real quick.
Jazz,
One
but
second,
Jazz, the
Nana.
civil rights
One-
movement,
Real quick,
right?
Nana.
The civil rights.
Hold on one second.
No. Can
Black
you hear
people,
Vegas?
black people, and
Yeah,
Jewish
she got
people
bars. I'm
looked
just
in,
leaving.
right?
No,
I don't
can
think
you
she
hear
can hear
But
Vegas?
they're calling us racial
Yes, she
slurs.
can't hear
Oh,
nothing.
what?
I can't even mute her. There she goes. Okay, Angela, if you're still in here, Jazz has been trying to reach you for the last couple of days. So when you get a chance, come into the Discord when we're in there.
Yeah, pop into the Discord, Angela. Sorry, no. We were trying to talk to you, but I think the service was making you not hear us.
Hey, Jazz, really quick, don't forget with all of the bullshit that they're saying, what we have been catching them doing on an app that they know
No,
is
I
full
said
of children.
send me your Discord too.
Yeah, just I will. I'll DM it. I will. But can you hear us, Nana?
Yes, I could hear you now. I'm sorry, there was like a delay. I'm sorry.
You saw
Now
it. You saw
I
it.
had to move into the living room. I need to get a Wi-Fi extender in my room.
On that, yeah.
But no, I was just saying they weaponize anti-blackness the minute a black person doesn't say what they want. I've been called. I've had weave jokes. I've had Zionists talk about, even though Not that it matters that I have very healthy and long, real my natural hair. I've had Zionists talk about my wigs, how I should take my wig off. I've had Zionists in the comments make monkey emojis and banana emojis at me and heart emojis. I mean, there's some of the if you say what they want, the same ones I'll watch praise a Black Zionist, which is like the 25 and the entire world willing to put their faces on the internet and shook and jive for Zionists, right? They'll talk about how intelligent and how well spoken they are, right? But if it's us, then monkey emoji, cushy, this. Do you know about a bead street? Do you know? Have you heard about a bead? You're in a bead street and you want to be against us? Like, I hear that all the time.
That's
You
all
know
it
the
is
civil
on
rights?
this
She
app.
did the civil rights.
Has she been talking to Pharaoh?
she's been
Like
out
that,
there
Pharaoh?
fighting. She actually goes up on Zionist panels. That's what she does. You know, we don't do that shit no more. She be going up on Zionist panels, dogging them. Ask her.
One-on-one. And then they know me. They always drop me. I never drop. I'm like, my whole thing is if I get dropped, I win. And no matter what you're saying, if you drop me, I win. It'll be me versus 6 people. And look, sometimes we have really meaningful conversations. It's not always horrible, but then it's just like when it comes down to it, they'll let their freak flag fly. They'll say something genocidal. They always let it flip. And when I match energy, I'm anti-Semitic. I'm a racist. I'm a bigot. But you weren't. I wasn't a biggie a bigot when your comment section were spamming monkey and orangutan memes for me. You didn't notice that until I said something. Let me tell you something right now. I get called ghetto by Zionists on this app multiple times. You want to shut that shit up really quick? I said, well, that word was made for you, you know. I talked to a very skinny person who is a Zionist who called me ghetto, and I said, it looked like you survived the Warsaw Ghetto. Then it's, oh my
Damn.
God. I take it to hell. You're going to call me ghetto hood rat, ghetto trash, blah, 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 because I support the Palestinians. So, that's the thing. Black people aren't allowed to be angry. We're not allowed to show our emotion. We're not allowed to have conversations about geopolitics without our identities or ethnicities or phenotypes being weaponized against us. And that's a normal in every group, but that happens to us. But it's just annoying. Like I didn't come on the panel to talk about Nigeria, right? Because they'll do that too. Like, what about Boko Haram? I came up here to talk about as an American, period. I could be white, but I don't think our government should be supporting you. I think it's bad for America, actually bad for America from a foreign policy standpoint. But the first thing you want to tell me is we helped you with the civil rights movement. And have you ever heard of a beat street? So insulting, so disingenuous. And so many Black people are sick and tired of that shit.
Which, by the way, Zach did do we were with the civil rights movement. That's what I meant, y'all.
Have you met a dude named Pharaoh yet, Nana?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, he's a light-skinned dude named Pharaoh. Now this one, he'll tell you he's not a Zio, and he's really not a Zionist because he doesn't really have anything to do with Judaism or Christian evangelicalism, but he sides with them. It's a strange thing, but the man, I don't even know how to Vegas can explain Pharaoh to you.
I know how to explain it. He's a fucking coon who doesn't know which side he wants to play. He's hoping that at some point they'll invite him into that.
I already know.
Yeah. So he started out.
Devil's advocate. Let me guess. Like,
go ahead,
so
Vegas.
he started out with very staunch, like almost violent rhetoric about the Palestinians or Gazans. And then at one point when he kept getting his ass handed to him, he started taking this softer, gentler stance on it. And now he's just at the petty bitch phase where he doesn't really argue a side. He's just going to be like, oh, so that's what you mean. That's what you believe. Okay. It's just petty bullshit now.
Can I point out something though, really quick? Because Pharaoh he brought it up last time he was here. He was like, I only did an hour research about the Al Abid neighborhood that he keeps trying to play off, right? If I'm not mistaken, he was on this panel 2 months ago saying the same bullshit that, he researched the Al Abid neighborhood and we brought up maps and we were like pointing it out and he could not do shit. But yet he keeps coming up and he was like, I just did an hour research about it right now. How does that work?
Wait, no.
Does that hour just keep repeating itself?
You know what? You know why that Alabid shit is so annoying and trivial? It's not actually named Alabid. It's the slur used by racist Palestinian, right? It's a street. It's like one of how like in a majority white areas where if it's a middle class black suburb or any inner city that's associated with black people person, the racist white people in the community will be like, that's where the N words live, or that's where the blacks live, or whatever. It's like that is the comparison. We know people do that everywhere. There's like that's American history. Anywhere that's what white flight is. If there's a concentration of black people, middle class or not, they could be in the exact same economic place as them, right? They'll just refer, there's just places where more black people live. More, this is the white side, this is the black side, this is the white side, this is the black side, whatever. That's the equivocation. It's not actually named Alabid Street. There are plenty of Palestinians who have never referred to it as Alabid Street in their life. Probably the majority of them. That's just a term that racist Palestinians, because anti-blackness is a universal phenomenon, not to justify it, but like, of course, there are racist people who are Arab. There are racist Jews. There are racist anti-black Indians, anti-black Latino people. Like it's a fact in nature, right? So this idea that that's the justification for me siding with a superpower with nukes in the Middle East, treating an entire system, an entire class, an entire race, ethnicity, creed, nationality, identity as second-class citizens, occasionally doing pogroms and massacres on them, and then every once in a while G-siding them off the face of the planet and doing apartheid on them. Like that's the justification. It's like you're insulting. It's like they tell black people that all we care about is race and identity politics, and then they'll weaponize our identity against us when we're standing up for other people. Which one is it? Which one is it?
Force them to choose. Put them in that position. I'm telling you, force them to choose and see what they gonna say.
Well, see, Pharaoh is, but Pharaoh is literally just a man that really just hates Arabs and hates Muslims.
Oh yeah,
That's the only reason that he
I think I
defends
know who
Israel.
you're talking about. Is he like does he have like a Jamaican or patois Haitian accent?
No.
Okay,
No,
then that's not him.
John,
There's
that's
another.
John Paul.
There's the one who's the pastor, right? He's I don't know. He's like he used to do a I forget his Nick Zion. He always had a red heifer, and I'm not even being.
Oh,
I'm
that's
not.
Nicholson. He got
Do you know what I'm
arrested
talking about?
for
He
being
literally
a
would
dipshit.
have a
Nicholson.
red cow with the Ashkenazi or the not Ashkenazi, the Jewish star, the Star of David on it, and
Yeah,
he
that's
talking about the
Nicholson.
red heifer.
That's
Nicholson,
Nicholson.
Nicholson, yes. Oh
That's
my
the one
God.
that came out about a year and a half ago saying that he gets paid by NYC Joe, and that NYC Joe didn't pay him, and so he turned anti-Zio for like a week, and then apparently he got caught up on his payments and went back to being the dipshit that he is. He's a French Jamaican.
Could you imagine? I mean, so they're gonna put those are the good ones to them, right? Those are the good those are the blacks that can get temporary citizenship. They can come and stay in Israel for a little bit, okay? Good boys. You guys did a good job.
Actually, he got his ass kicked in Israel. We got the article. There's an article.
Yeah, he
You
got
can go
beat
look
up.
it up.
He got beat up.
Yeah, it was funny.
Who got beat up?
Nicholson.
He got his ass whipped in Israel.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, Jazz. That's hilarious. He got beat up in Israel. Oh my God, that's hilarious. I was on a live. I have a recording of it. I still need to splice it. Because you know how older millennial was super Zionist. He got kicked off or booted once or twice for saying that they should just G-side all of the Palestinians and they contribute nothing to society, blah, blah, blah. Do you guys, I'm sure a lot of you guys know of older millennial, biggest douchebag, he's a attention-seeking racist.
The PP pants?
Older
He's in his
millennial.
pants when he gets tased. Yeah,
The
he's in
PP
his pants
pants,
when he gets tased.
He's literally a triglycolite. He got dunked on for having a warrant out for his arrest. And there were people like tracking his movements, and then he got tased and pissed on himself. You can find the video anywhere on here. It's hilarious. But I was on a panel with him a week ago with one of them. Got tased and pissed on himself. You can find the video anywhere. Snowy, can you mute up? Snowy, can you mute up? Can you drop Snowy or mute him?
He's gonna mute in 2 seconds.
Can you mute up? I was on a panel with him. Can you drop Snowy or mute him?
He's gonna mute in 2 seconds.
Okay, so he was on a panel with Hebrew Hammer and that Kahanist, with that redheaded Kahanist, what's her name, Bracha, They're all super racist. They do panels with Nick Mattel. They pretend that they're not, that they're just right wingers, but they like talk about people's IQs and talk about people's civilizations. But he came up and finally, it was so easy to bait him. He came up and said that because Hebrew Hammer had Africa. I'll send you the screenshot, Jazz. When I get a chance, I'll literally splice the video. He made them uncomfortable to the point, it was like insane. He had an image of Africa, the entirety of Africa in the trash can. And so I had to come up and defend Africa. So I'm like, why are you doing this? Like, your whole thing was like Israel, the Israel flag and the United States flag in like a little circle together. And then Africa on the trash in the bottom. So we were just talking, I was defending like sub-Saharan Africa specifically, right? Why did Older Millennial come up and say, again, these are with Zionists. Allegedly, they're not racist. They're not anti-Black. You know, they're different. They're not like the regular white people. They're different, right? He came up and said in a drunken stupor, because he's always drunk. He's literally always drunk when he's on these lives. You can tell because he's like slurring his words. He came up and said that I recorded this. You can't hear me in the recording because I did it from my phone and I didn't have my other phone. But I mocked him for pissing himself. It was hilarious. and then he must have gotten angry. He goes, you know what? I think we should G-side all of Africa. Like literally said that they should be, how many Nobel Peace Prize do they have? What have they contributed to society? We should unalive all of them and just steal the resources. Hebrew Hammer's like, no, Joe, you can't say that. No. Brach is like, you're taking it too far. You're taking it too far. I'm like, this is why? No. Like, let him say it. I said, you guys said that I'm easily offended and I'm true. I said, it took me 2 seconds to talk about him pissing himself to him saying that you should G-side all of Africa. And they were like, well, he didn't say a race. Africa's just not made. I'm like, 80% of Africa is Black. So like, stop it. Oh, he meant North Africa, huh? And he was like, I don't even know what the project's just, they dropped me, they blocked me. Or they dropped me and he blocked me off his page. He was really sensitive about that. But these are the type of people they have on. Hebrew Hammer is always on live talking about the war, always on live talking about stealing Iran. He was talking about how we should take the Karg Island. I'm like, even if we took it, we wouldn't be able to keep it. He's like, I don't care. We should take Mexico, and Mexico should become like Guam or Puerto Rico. Like, they don't have a right to vote, but they're under our tutelage. And we should take Greenland, whether they want it or not, unprovoked. So I'm like, when you talk about Israelis being colonialists, Israelis being Zionists specifically being colonialists, they do, like, even for issues that have nothing to do with them. What does Africa have anything to do with you? What does colonizing and stealing Mexico, which apparently is a growing movement around amongst some neocons, by the way, that they should take Mexico and make it a what's it called, a vassals, like Guam or Puerto Rico, where they're under us, but they can't vote. This is a growing trend. Like, they're saying this openly on the internet, unabashed. They feel inspired. Like, Trump is like really what's the word I'm looking for? Like, exciting them. You know what I mean?
That's why I think there's really going to be a civil war, because I don't see that man giving up power or giving power to the people to vote for who they want. I see him giving it to who he wants. And I see that occurring. I see what he does with ICE as a soft test to see what it's going to look like to have a private army. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely. It's not even a few months ago, I would say you're being conspiratorial. Like, anything is possible. They train in Israel. They teach them. Israeli companies teach American police how to brutalize people. That's not a conspiracy. That's like, they have training partnerships with each other. Like, this is how, it's a city of 800. This is how you corral them. This is how you instill fear in them. It's a riot. They're protesting BLM, whatever. This is how you corral them. This is how you instill fear in the community, blah, blah, blah.
This is the type of money that Miriam Adelson has. This is the kind of money that she has, like international money, not country, state, nation money. To be able to just spread it on. We see a bunch of pro-Palestinians in the street. All right, we're just going to create this police force to go take care of them. Create this campaign is how they call it, to just take care of them. Now we're not seeing that in the streets or in the schools anymore because it's been made illegal, because she paid for this. Not just her, but many of them in the Israel lobby. Many of them together, banded together to make this happen. And it's like, all right, civil war is going to come out of something of this sort. Is what I'm saying. those that side with Israel and what
I
the
mean,
United States and what the neocons have going, and literally everybody else. That's why I don't adhere to this left or right, Democratic, Republic. I don't adhere to any of that no more.
Project Esther.
Oh, please. Project Esther, good Lord.
but we're conspiratorial, guys. This is loonings of mentally ill people, you guys. Everything we say when it happens, that's the issue with being, I am a leftist. Being a leftist means being right about things too early, when it's like, in my opinion. Because no, we were told that we were anti-Semitic when we were talking about Project Esther. It wasn't called that. Leftists were talking about how they're going to implement things like that. It just didn't have a name, and then it comes out, and then, oh, okay. Same thing with what was that? The Heritage Foundation brought up Project 2020.
They were
Not
the same
everything
ones
was
that
done
made
on it,
Project
obviously,
Esther.
but like enough. Yeah, dude, they're trying to overturn citizens
United.
freaking birthright citizenship,
Oh,
which
birthright citizenship.
I am a birthright citizen. Like that would apply to me. Like I would be deported. It's like 60 million people essentially, right? I mean, these people, it's definitely getting struck down. It looks like it'd be 7-2, but still, like these efforts, this is the most authoritarian, like it is the greatest time in history to live, 100%. Like I want to be very clear, like any time in human history per capita, this is the best place to live in the world. But like we have new era, like the Romans and the Greeks and everybody else that they talk about would never have dreamed of this level of psychological warfare. You know what I mean? Like we're being monitored by our federal government. They know everything we do. They have access to our camera rolls. They know what we watch, what we like. What are we even talking about?
Truthy, what's up, Truthy?
Pointing out, everybody keeps talking about how the Republicans and the Democrats. This is why I keep reminding people: we have no such thing as Republicans and Democrats. We have our government that wants the people to always be separated. So what do they give? Oh, 1 second, guys, I got important.
Always got it.
I am gonna drop right now. I'm sorry to interrupt.
We can't hear you, Nana.
Great. Musad got
Sorry. Sorry, guys. But like when we say there's Republicans and Democrats, our government has always made it to make us always
Did
fight.
you hear anything I just? Oh
Sorry.
my goodness! I'm so sorry. Gee, it's because I was in my room again. No, I'm saying I'm gonna drop. Thank you so much for having me on. Please send me the information in the Discord. I don't know if you heard that. I really appreciate you having me on. This is an amazing conversation. As always, we just put belt to ass to Zionists and their supporters. Light work. But yeah, share the Discord. I'm gonna follow all of you if I'm not already. Las Vegas, I really appreciate your candor. Carson, you as well. This is awesome. Jazz, if you're doing this again tomorrow, let me know. I'd love to join.
I join every single day.
I'll debate any of them on here.
We do this every single day.
No. I think it's funny how they seem scared to come up here, though. I go on their lives and debate them, but they never really want to come on ours alone.
They come here and try to debate us every single day, like for real. So you can catch any of them anytime
really?
you pull up.
Yeah. Sounds good. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Thanks, Jazz.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Truth.
Okay, so I'm just pointing out that like, how do you get the people to always be divided? You give them this illusion that, oh, there's two sides. We all know like there is no two sides. Our government has always tried to split us, and people fall for this bullshit because like, let us pay attention. The whole last elections that happened, none of the Democrats won how they should have won. Why? Because they didn't run like they normally would run to get like the Democrats are going to win the House or the Democrats going to win the Senate. Why? Because they didn't run for us. They ran on a plan that they wanted to do this 2025 plan. And hey, everybody hates Trump anyway, so let's make sure he's the president. He gets blamed for it. And we're still doing the plan. Because you want to pay attention, go look into those private jails, those private prisons that we have. A shit ton of Democrats own those. Did y'all know that? Did anybody know that a crap ton of Democrats own those private prisons or are invest a shit ton of money?
Of course.
Why are Democrats doing that? Why are they? I thought they're for the people. Why are they investing in private prisons?
Rich people don't discriminate. I mean, they do, but you understand what I mean. When it comes to money, they'll put their money into anything that will make them back money. They don't discriminate. Rich, Republican or Democratic.
But see, that's how you can tell. We have a BS of a actual democracy. We have government working literally against the people to keep the people in line. They give you the illusion that, oh, hey, your voting matters. You want to vote. You're going to vote for the lesser evil, which both are very evil at the same point. And I'm going for, you name a president, Democrat or Republican, they are all evil. They are all war criminals. And if you guys want to say Biden was a war criminal. He helped with the beginning of this genocide. Trump is aiding it now, but Biden started it. Harris, if she became president, let me remind you, was she not the vice president? Did she not state that if she became president, she is going to do exactly what Biden did? She was not going to change anything? So what does that make her? A wannabe war criminal?
All right. Let's see who we're going to talk to today. Usually we get these Zionists on here and they all of a sudden end up on the TikTok somehow. And then we have to drill them and see how real they are. So let's find out who we could talk to today. It's always a game. No, too young.
How it go?
How it goes. Nope. Not even going to give him the chance. Everybody's smoking over there. They're so stressed.
You got to get a screen so certain things don't show later on. I'm just saying.
You think so?
There's a lot of them that come in
I could try. I could try.
شو انت يا عبد here again is like you is black is a nigga.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. You see? Israelis, bro. They're crazy, bro. It's crazy. And they want to yell anti-Semitism.
What country is it?
But racism is a lot more profound than anti-Semitism. Racism is crazy.
Wait, I think I figured it out. I think you guys just need to make a word that includes the N-word so that you guys can say that and play the victim, but then nobody else can say it because of what it is.
Well, we'll see who gets creative, Santana.
What's up, nigger?
We found our creative person.
Dude, what is going on with them? That's crazy.
Streamer.
Hello there.
What's poppin'?
You are,
No. خاطر سلام
Yep. You see, they're racist, bro. You see? Kushi? That's what he said.
Hello.
How you doing?
What are you doing?
Streaming. I gotta go, though. You guys look young, but you guys have a good night.
You too.
Yeah, man. It's crazy work, bro. All I did was pull up on the penalty. They'll yell Kushi. They'll yell, can you rap? Can you sing? Can you do this? Can you do that? Or they'll just be outright. Yeah. You see, nigga? You see what I'm saying? These are Israelis, bro. These are Israelis.
Hello, how are you? USA, yeah?
Yeah.
Sister, why you born so much? I mean, what's your age?
30 plus.
30 plus? Oh, what you doing gang sign? You have a Glock? What no? You fake nigga, man. Fake the Glock. סחורה של בחורים טובים עוד לא יודעים מה סטנדרט. חולה על הקסמים של שלוף שלפתי את
See? I didn't even have to say a word. I didn't have to say a word. That was crazy.
This is
Hi.
crazy.
How you doing?
Hi. Yeah, it's for YouTube or something?
Definitely.
No.
You don't want to do that? Yeah, nah. Jeez.
I said not.
Ridiculous what's going on in these streets, man. What the hell? Crazy work.
You gotta remember it's Shabbat, yeah. So like the older religious ones are doing their thing.
That
It's
is
a bunch
right.
of
That is right.
thug kids.
Terrible though. What's going on, man?
Yeah, he ain't in Israel.
No, he was in Israel, but maybe he's not.
No, it's like 11 o'clock at night down over there. It was daytime outside for him.
Oh, it was. I didn't see it. I didn't see that background. I did not see that background. They all just yell the most lewd things, though, bro. And
Yo. What's up?
what's popping? It's like midnight over there. There's got to be.
Yeah. You remember the other day when the dude asked you how big your dick is?
That was ridiculous. That was ridiculous. Did she just try to eat the camera?
Girls be like,
hello,
bicep,
daddy.
bicep,
Hello,
bicep.
daddy. Can you sing?
No. What? What? That was crazy work. Crazy work.
Hello.
What's going on, man? Bangladesh.
Hello.
What's popping?
What are you doing, bro?
Streaming.
You're streamer? What play do you play?
What place do you play?
TikTok.
FIFA?
Yeah.
Yes, תראה לו, תפיפה.
FIFA.
Yeah.
FIFA. I play strip club. You know, in GTA.
I do it in real life.
Ah?
I'm just kidding. I don't go there.
You love Israel? You don't love Israel?
No.
So you don't know anything of your life, bro?
Why?
Because Israel is the best.
What makes Israel the best?
The people. Look, I don't know you. And the first thing I told you, what's up, bro, my brother, how are you? How was your day? You understand?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the bad guy.
I'm not the bad guy.
You know what your people call me? Do you know what your people call me?
What, black?
Kushi.
Kush? Nah, don't say that. It's not a good word. You know
That's
what
they call me.
Because you met some bad Israelis, but it's not everyone. It's like 5% of the population.
That's a lot. That's a big percentile right there.
What?
That's a lot of people.
What? You passing me?
No.
I want you peace. Only peace. Peace and love, All world peace.
What about
Bye, bro. Have a good day.
What about Gaza?
What?
What about peace in Gaza?
Peace in Gaza. Gaza need to delete. You know what I'm saying? There's terrorists in Gaza. You have been in Gaza?
They're terrorists in the U.S.
There's
So you don't know
mostly
what
children in Gaza.
They're mostly children. Then you don't know what you are saying.
They're all genocidal. Seriously.
Crazy. These Israelis are bored. What?
What? Give me a freestyle, please.
Give me money first.
Money? No, you're not an artist. You're selling your soul for money. I don't want to hear you.
Hey, man. It is. What made you think I was an artist?
Where did you go? You want to rap? Rap. יאללה, תעשה לו ביט.
You see, that's the thing. You think I want to rap. You think I want to sing.
You're a streamer? You're a streamer?
I'll be making it happen, yeah.
With God willing.
Mm-hmm. Are you
God,
Israeli?
I wish you all the best.
Are you Israeli?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Israel.
Okay. You love
You
Israel?
heard about, you love Israel?
Not really.
You don't love Israel?
No.
You love people treating other people like shit.
Like who?
The rest of the world. The only country in the Middle East that you can be whoever you want is Israel. And people will respect you. You are supporting people that are raping, killing, doing terrorized operations against Americans and Israelis. And then you're speaking about you don't like Israel. What there is not like to be? Israel is the best country ever. Very good people. And you're talking to us,
That's why you
like we
don't.
are not
You tell
even
him that's why we
exist.
don't support
Who are
Israel
you,
because we
man?
don't like
I
people that
wish you all
rape.
the best.
They're so
What's up,
mad.
nigga?
What'd you say?
I said, what's up, nigga?
Can we take a count? Like how many of them come up and say that to you?
We're doing it all on YouTube stream. I'm gonna cut it and post it later. That's what's happening right now.
Mashallah.
Too young. Yeah, but you can almost take a bet and see it in their eyes when it's gonna happen. Every single time. Aqualad, that's what's going on with these Israelis. Whoa, what you got there? What you doing, man?
He sucks at that.
Yeah. You think you can practice some more? You got to practice some more. Keep tapping, bro. Keep tapping. That shit was weird. Imagine sitting in your room just doing that willingly. That was crazy. Good roll, man. Good roll.
They're all smoking.
They're all so stressed.
You got a thing on your bottom of your screen that says.
Yeah, I got one because of them. How old are you?
Do you know who is Lacey?
Not even gonna play that. Not even gonna play that. Welcome to being a part of my clip, y'all. We're about to make a whole clip on racist Israelis, man. Are you racist? Yeah.
There you go.
They're mad close to you. What's happening over there? What's up, man? That guy was in the IDF, chilling. What would happen if I had an Israeli? If I changed my VPN to Israel?
The United States. Hello.
What is this guy? What is this Robbie saying? Jazz, say you're What's going on, man? You're Palestinian as an experiment and see if you'll see some real racism. I should.
I don't know about that.
I don't
I
think.
think they have enough. I think they have enough people stealing their identity.
Yeah, truthfully. Them dropping hardcore N bombs. Aggressive. But we're overdue for some actually. We're overdue.
Oh, it's you again.
How old are you?
It's none of your goddamn business.
Yeah, then I'll be skipping you.
You again. You know what is this? Suddenly, accidentally pass, you know?
Hebrew Palestine.
What the fuck? Oh no, dude, hell no. They got just paused that. I hope no one was looking at the screen for that one.
Thank God it's
Aggressive.
not.
Aggressive. That was aggressive. Either way, what's happening in the world today? I'm glad all y'all missed that if you didn't see that. I'm glad you missed it because that wasn't worth seeing. Real shit. That was not worth seeing. No sirski. I would like to know Hegseth oust Army Chief of Staff during war in Iran. And I think Carson came up talking about that too.
I think that was a different person that resigned than from what you said. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Maybe someone else.
So
There
there's
are
two of them.
there's actually 12. I'm gonna send you the list in the Discord. In the last less than a year, we've had 12 military leaders either get fired or get pushed for early retirement because they're not yes men. Because almost all of them have stated a ground invasion in Iran is a bad thing, and they are being replaced by drunken idiots like the dumbest one we have right now as Secretary of Defense.
Yeah, they've been firing a lot of these people. And then the Doge thing, they doged out like 90% of the civilian casualty prevention unit. So that's probably why we hit that girls' school, because the intel that they were using was literally like a decade old. And they got rid of 90% of the people who were in charge of that, So it's a mess.
And literally anyone that goes up against the regime, it says anything against the regime, has got to go. Welcome to fascism. I like how they eat their own alive too. Eat their own alive. And say, oh no, it's because they don't want to listen. Please. And Resistance Native also sent me a video. I don't know how to copy it though.
Jazz, did you see the toddler that was literally like abused by IDF?
The toddler?
Yes, this happened a few days ago, maybe a week, but I don't think it's been even a week yet. And the images on his leg, you could literally see they burned him with cigarettes, and then I think they like inserted something into it, and you could see like the hole where it went in and came out. It was terrible. Yeah, no one saw this?
No, I didn't hear about that.
Amir Abu Nasser, 18-month-old Palestinian, was tortured in front of his father to make his father confess. His father did not do anything wrong.
Truth. You sound far away from your mic.
If you pull up the picture, you can probably show it on the live. It just shows like the wounds, but it's so bad, and I can't believe. Well, I mean, I can believe it, but
18-month-old Amir Abu Nasser was tortured in front of his father so his father could confess to a so-called tea attack. His father never confessed. They finally gave the child back to the Red Crescent, but the father is still a hostage.
And they gave him back with burn marks and puncture marks and all that. Like, it was terrible.
Now, who does that to kids?
Yeah, they used cigarettes and nails, rusting nails.
Oh, rusty nails too? Yeah, they try to crucify a child.
According to multiple reports, including the Red Crescent.
They try to crucify a child. That's really what I'm hearing. Damn.
It was all in his legs, both of his legs, where they tortured him, and probably other parts of his body, but that's where you could see all the burns and the,
that's
poke
crazy.
wounds.
People like Coach would deny that ever happened. Zach would be like, that never happened.
They would all deny it, all of them.
Insane, man. How you doing? How old are you?
19.
Are you lying? All right, well, I might not believe you, so I'm going to keep going, okay? Thank you. What the fuck? You look like an elf.
אני לא יודעת אם הוא אמר פייק.
I'm out here in America. What's up, man?
Great. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good to see you.
Yeah, man. What's going on with you?
Great. It's good feeling.
Yeah, no, I don't know what he's talking about. I didn't even understand a word he said. Vegas, Santana, are you guys there?
Yeah.
Oh man, wait, Carson, do you have Discord, Carson?
It really makes.
No, I think I made an account, but and then I downloaded the app recently. I made an account a long time ago, but I have to sign in and all that. I haven't used it.
So if we're not on here on TikTok, we're usually in Discord. We're usually in Discord in here, hanging out, making things happen. Because at times, information must always be passed. And then we have everything here on the side, like a bunch of shit, just a bunch of, like our library, for example, which has all sorts of books in there about anything. Palestine 4000. There's so much shit in here. A lot. So if you ever get ready on your Discord and all that, we're going to get you on there, okay?
Thank you. Yeah, I need to do it.
It's very much so worth it. It's very much so worth it. What I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to shut down the live for a couple hours. I'm going to be in the Discord with Santana in Vegas. Anybody's welcome to join. And then I'm going to pop back on live tonight and make that happen. That's what that looks like what my plan is going to be. So I appreciate everybody coming out. Thank you so much. And I hope to see you on the next live here today. Okay? Because I'll be going live again today. Real soon. All right, y'all. Have a
Thank
good
you.
one.
Jazz, can you send me the name of it?
The Discord.
Yeah, or
I'll
yeah.
send you the link in your DM.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Bye. Thank you.
What's up?